us up and giving us another day. We ask that you guide us, put your hands on us, give us the wisdom, give us the strength to make the best decisions for the citizens across Washington County. We ask that you allow us to go out and do your work with open hearts, caring hearts, as we move through our day, our week, the rest of this month, and the coming months, days, and years. We ask it all in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Let us all say amen.
Amen.
And the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Washington County Board of Supervisors meeting now in session. Honorable President McGee, presiding.
If everybody would make sure your mics are on so you can clearly be heard, not just by those who are in the room with us, but those who may be tuned in. Okay. On the agenda, on the minutes, excuse me, let's prove the agenda first. I'm looking for two sets. These are the board minutes. I need a motion.
So moved.
For what?
Board minutes.
You're not gonna do the agenda first?
Let me do the minutes and I'm gonna come back and I'll get it.
I mean,
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of
Point
aye.
Nay.
Any problem? I got a nay.
Nay.
Now, there was
There
also-
are some concerns in the minutes.
Okay. Well, you want to state those concerns?
I mean, we all read the minutes, but, some motions that were made are not accurate in these minutes, so I'm
You
voting
want us
nay.
make a motion to correct those?
Yeah, I make a motion that you correct the minutes.
You gotta tell us what they are.
Well, I think we all read the minutes. Maybe that the Chancellor Clerk may want to go back to the Facebook page and review the minutes that were made because some of them are inaccurate.
I got a motion and a second to approve the minutes as printed. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
I got one nay. Motion carries. Now, there was a set of minutes for the hearing. Do we have those minutes, Ms. Holmes? The public hearing? Shouldn't there be a different set of minutes for that? Yeah, we'll get those. We need to approve those minutes for the public hearing because we took some action on a couple of properties. So we need to get those and approve those to hearing.
So, Mr. President, you would just approve the minutes for September 3rd and not
Not individually?
regular and not the, because both of them are here.
They are in there?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that, well, we got the motion for September 3rd minutes, and that's how the record will stand. Now, on the agenda,
I'm a little slow. The record was stand to approve all the minutes?
all the minutes.
Okay, I was, with the motion, I voted nay to September 3rd board meeting.
Mhm.
That's what I voted nay to.
Okay.
I did not vote nay to, I think we need to do them individual.
Well, the motion's been carried and passed. We're moving on.
Well, initially, you didn't realize that we even had these minutes, Mr. President.
All right. I was looking for them. They're here. My
Okay,
mistake.
but when you carried the motion, you were under the impression that we only voting on the board meeting, not the public hearing. And when Attorney Griffin just brought it to your attention that they were here, then you said, okay, it's included. That's not the case. I think we all at the table are under the same impression under the public hearing. It's just, of the board meeting. It's just a matter of carrying the motion for the public hearing as well, Mr. President.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Brooks. All right. Back to the agenda. I want to add a couple things to the agenda. Sportsplex.
I'd like to
Mr.
make
Warren.
a motion that we approve the public hearing minutes. That's my motion.
I hear you. There's a motion on the floor to go back.
To approve these minutes right here.
Just as,
All right. I got a motion on the floor now to approve the minutes from the public hearing. Is that correct?
That's what I just said.
All right. Any questions, any comments? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Now for the agenda. I'd like to add Mr. Warren to the agenda and want to move him up so he can get out of here. He has business he needs to take care of.
So moved.
I got a motion to do that. And a second for that addition. Also with Delta Health Systems, I see Ms. Stacker is here, and we'll take care of all the hospital business as well. with-
Okay, we
with
got a
Mr. Paul
dilemma.
Dillon.
Mr. President,
Hey, Ms. Brooks.
Supervisor Reynolds have a problem on hearing.
I'm sorry. You can't hear? Oh, yeah, mine's on. I'm sorry. Can you hear me? All right. If you don't hear me, let me know, Mr. Redmond. We'd be glad to speak up. All right, Mr. Paul Dillon will be included with Delta Health System, trying to make sure that I do see Ms. Stacker on here. There it is, number 4.
Okay,
All right, let's,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, please.
Are we ready to approve the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to add an item to the agenda, cleanup around Washington County.
All right. You got a particular day or just clean up?
Just clean up in general. I'm
Okay.
going back, because I'm gonna keep bringing this up until we get some work done, throughout the area. And I'm really putting emphasis on District 4 and throughout the county on Main Fairway to see where we are.
Okay. We'll put that on the agenda as well, update on countywide cleanup. Anything else to the agenda before we carry it and approve it as printed with the additions? If not, I need a motion.
So moved.
You wouldn't keep
We're gonna advertise them for him, yeah. But now I don't know if he's picked them up or not.
I got a motion, I need a second.
Second.
All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Who made the motion?
Supervisor Gordon,
I heard him
Sorry, I
second.
thought yeah,
excuse me?
I said I heard him second.
I did,
All right, give me a motion somewhere.
I second.
All right,
I made the motion.
thank you, Lee. Thank you, Jerry. Any other questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll move through the agenda. Mr. Warren, if you'll come up. Let's you move to the top.
Good morning.
Morning.
Got just 3 items that we need to deal with real quick.
Hey,
The first is wanna purchase, we got 2 bids to move the school boards. Up front, we got one from Webb Electric, and we got one from Webb Electric for $14,000, then we got another for Ross HVAC for $18,000. I want to get approval for Webb Electric to move our school boards, those school boards that's at the back, move them up in front, and then they'll service them. We will still, if they're not wireless, we still will have to call in Rainy Electric, who will come in to deal with the, making them wireless and make sure all Webb is going to do, make sure power to them and make sure they're moving. So those are those 2 posts.
So, which one, I move that we go with the lowest, is Webb the lowest?
Yeah, Webb is the lowest, yes, ma'am.
That's my motion.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Ms.
Aye.
Griffin? Ms. Griffin?
All right, the next
Motion
one
carries.
is
Thank you, Ms. Warren.
storage container. We got 2 quotes on the storage container. The first one is from, it's a secure container to put all of our equipment in that we're purchasing, and it's secure. We have two quotes. The first quote, for the storage container is $59,996, and then on the back page attached, we added, some shelving in there too. And the second quote is another quote we have, it's $6,500, but it don't come with shelving, so we're gonna have to have shelves in it. So I want us to go with the quote with container 1, which is $5,900 plus the $700 with the shelves in there. We're gonna have 3 shelves in there.
I move we go with the lowest.
I do have a question though.
Yes, sir.
So you got the one with shells for $5,900,
Yes.
but your additional $700, well, basically $6,000. So you're adding $700 for
Yeah,
shells.
it's gonna be $700, so it's gonna be $6,700.
67, so it's gonna be $200 more than the next bid. I guess I'm asking the attorney on that.
The next bid,
The next bid's
did
$6,500.
the next bid have, shelves?
No.
It did not have shells. I'm asking, there is a
Actually-
difference in them. The one that he's asking for, the actual container's cheaper, but they're adding $700 worth of shells. The second one is $6,500 with no shell. Now, is the $6,500, is it capable of putting shells in it? Can they add shells?
Yes, they can.
Okay,
Which if they add shelves to it, it's gonna be higher.
yeah.
I move we go with the lowest.
Hold on.
Oh,
That's what it is.
What did your specs call for?
the specs on the, container,
For the bid.
Yeah, your bid specs.
These are quotes, these are not bids.
Your quote specs, same thing.
No, it's different between quotes
Okay.
and bids.
well, Ms. Brooks, I understand the difference between
Okay.
quotes and bids, but you, even on quotes, you have specs,
Yeah,
okay? What did your specs call for?
it calls for shelves.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
And so, the 5,900
yes,
plus $700 shell,
yes.
why weren't the shells included?
Well, on the second bid, we don't know if we're gonna be able to put shelves in it or not. On this one, we do have shelves.
It's a problem.
On which one? He said this one.
On the first one.
On the
Now, what we can do is, we can just take the shelves out and then come back and get them at a later date.
Why would you do that?
Try to make it
Well, it's an issue.
complicated.
Now, you asked for shells.
Yeah,
Did the 6,500
No.
include shells? No shells?
No.
No,
Neither one?
neither one came with shells.
neither one,
Well,
we just,
neither one is, comports with the specs.
say that again.
Neither one complies with the specs.
The original specs of the storage building, they don't come with shelves. You
None
can
of them come
add
with shelves. You can add
to it.
shelves
It's an
to
ac-
it.
We need to
Shelves
cover
is an accessory.
for the record.
I understand that.
so-
I understand that.
Okay.
You can have a building as part of your specs. You can ask that the shelves be included, and apparently that's what you did, and no one included the specs. The question is whether or not you asked the board to accept a modified bid or quote.
Mr. Attorney,
Yes.
Mr. President, what we have are two specs,
All right.
two quotes with containers with no shells. One with no shells is 5,900, and the other one with no shells is 6,500. He's making a request that we go with the lowest and add shelves to it. That's all he's making a request to.
She called me into it.
I'm sorry.
She called me into it. Mr. Warren, do you have a copy of your specs that you advertised with?
Good.
Do we have that?
That we advertised?
You put out specs for your bid.
We just sent an email and asked them for that. It's all in the quote.
Your email is here in the quote.
Now,
But that she said,
all I'm saying, the board could accept if it modifies what they requested, okay? All right, so are you asking the board now, because you got two quotes without shells, to accept a modified container without the shell?
Sure.
Okay.
I move we go with the lowest. That's my motion.
So you're just voting on just the container itself, no shell?
No shells.
Yeah.
And we'll come back with the shells later. No shells.
Mr. Attorney,
Yes.
he just
Second motion. Then we can-
said that the
Can I-
shells was in the
Second the
bid.
motion.
Can I say-
In the-
No,
He said the
shells
shell
are
Second
cost
the
an
motion.
additional
Let me do
$700 bucks.
It's an accessory. We don't have to have the shells.
No, I got some. How soon do you need
He
this?
said the shell's costing
How
an
soon do you
additional
need this
$700
container?
bucks.
We're about to close out. She said we needed ASAP.
Where are the specs?
But are you talking about for the year,
Yes.
on
They're
the
quotes.
budget?
They're just
Budget.
quotes.
That's just quotes.
Yeah, but what can,
That's-
we've got so many days that even after we accept something, so many days to spend it
Uh,
after
we
the
have
first
been
of
doing-
October.
That's not what I asked.
So it's gotta be
we
done
rarely
by the,
see the
it's gotta be
spec
done by
because you
October
don't
1
insist on it.
on that.
We've
We
never done,
insisted now.
we don't do it, no, not today. Why we doing this department?
Can I
not
just
the
make-
other departments?
Please,
Oh,
would you get this worked out?
Yeah,
Please?
Would you
well, I'm
second
just
the
For the
saying,
record, Mr. President,
Will you second the
the
motion?
board is
So that we can
entitled
get this
to a
shell,
copy
so
of
you can
all
get the done
specs,
thing.
Thank you.
okay? However, y'all have been lackadaisical about requiring specs.
Well, thank you for pointing that out, Mr. Griffin.
Yes.
And you
I've
said it,
always
you
been
said it every
consistent.
time we've done it.
I've always
Now,
been.
you are the attorney, right?
Mr. President, I can't make you accept specs if
Okay.
you don't insist on it. I can only tell you what the law
but
is.
your shells can come later.
We got a
Second
second
later.
on, we have a second on the
Yeah, they
motion,
can
Mr.
come later.
President.
I make a motion
We
that-
have a motion already on the floor with a second.
for the second what? With no shells.
No
Go.
shells.
Is that
All
what
right,
you're
that's the
saying?
motion.
That's the motion.
That's the
Yeah,
motion on the
okay.
floor. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Anything else, Mr. Warren?
Yes, last thing with the bylaws, I did get the email from Shalisa. They were, what was sent to me were, basically state regulations for, governing a park commission. So what we have to do is we have a bylaw committee set up that that's been working. Michelle is on the bylaw committee. So we are working to kind of merge all that together, and also I talked to Mr. Griffin that we have to deal with also with our bylaws for personnel is concerned. So it is gonna slow down our process of hiring, because he recommended, and I agree, we need to have those bylaws in place, especially with personnel, before we hire anybody. So we are working on that, and we'll get it to you, once we, get it complete.
If you would, on this, even on, this request on the container, just send Charlize, or we can add it to it, just what y'all requested, that way we can attach it with it, like, you know, if it, whatever the email said, requested, just attach this to it. That'll suffice.
We'll do, thank you.
Ms. Warren, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Now, as we go through the rest of the agenda, I'm sorry.
I think these are metal shells. I think they were metal shells he was looking for.
We'll take a look there. Good point. You know, this should be a short meeting today, and hopefully we can go through the agenda, the remaining of the agenda, with some level of professionalism and decorum, so we can keep it moving. And just think, you know, we're representing the community, the county as a whole, so let's do business in a business-like manner. All right, Ms. Stacker, would you come up, please? Sorry about that.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am submitting our fiscal year 25 budget. I think you all
We do
have
have it.
gotten a packet. I just want to tell you some assumptions that we had this year. We're not looking at any additional inpatient days or census. We think that's going to be flat. Inflation, as you know, is going to come up. We're looking at about a 4% in general supplies, 6% in medical supplies, and probably a 10% in our drug costs. We don't see any increases in our physician practices or our residency program, no increases in our oncology program. We have funded an assistant CFO position, trying to look forward to a succession plan for that. And as we start looking for positions, because our specialties are low, and because we have an aging medical staff, we're gonna put some additional monies into our position recruitment. We are non-audited. We're projecting a $12 million net income for fiscal year 24. Looking for a proposed budget of fiscal year 25 of about $5 million. The reason for the 7.2 difference and variance in that is because of the MHAP money that the governor gave. That was extra. We're not looking for that. Once again, we still have some grant monies that have not come into fruition that we have not added to the budget. So if we get that, it will be gravy.
And y'all done the same thing last year, y'all didn't?
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Yeah.
Any questions, Ms. Stacker? Anything you need from us, Ms. Stacker?
No, sir. Mr. Dillon needs something there.
Ms. Dillon, how you doing this morning? I'm good.
Good morning,
Morning.
everyone. I'm coming today to ask for some assistance from the county on 2 of our entrance roads. I do appreciate y'all patching the one road for us. The road is such disrepair.
Which
The
road?
patch didn't hold. The one coming off of number 1, the little asphalt road that
You want
comes
the
in.
drive coming into the
Right,
property?
right.
And that patch didn't hold?
No, sir.
Okay.
I want to come out, get you to come out and assess it, or get somebody to come out and
No,
assess it
no.
with me.
We'll
And
send
then
somebody
the
out.
entrance off Union Street, I want to get it assessed. It's concrete driveway that has sank, and we got a pretty good hole in it.
All right, it's broke.
It is broke,
The slab is broke.
all the way.
Now, we
through.
don't
Yes,
do
sir.
concrete. We can do the entrance road with the asphalt.
Hey, that's better than nothing. Figure out something else on the
Questions,
concrete.
comments?
I do, on both of these now, exactly where both of them located, are they on city entries, or are they on y'all's property?
They on
or
our property.
On both of them?
Both of them are on our property, on county property coming in.
Okay,
They're not on the state highway coming in or off Union coming in. It's
gotcha. And one's asphalt and one's concrete?
correct.
How big is the concrete?
Probably a 10 by 10 area, but it's right in the main drive as you come in, right by the fire plug. It's sank down pretty good, and it's studied settling.
Gotcha.
So,
And once they take it out, it's possibly, no, but we don't do concrete. But what has to happen, you have to look out and find out what caused that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Anything else, Mr. Dillon?
that's all I got.
Let's talk later on today, and I'll get in touch with somebody who'll look at the road off number 1.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right. Justin Birch.
Before Justin, I had one more thing I forgot to tell you.
Okay.
Is that in November of this year, we will be through with our payments to Cahoma County for the lease.
Thank God, yeah.
So we had thought it was gonna be in February, but we kind of did some or the numbers and found out in our favor that we'll be out of that. So we'll be totally through with that process.
Outstanding.
in November.
Great.
All right.
Ms. Stack, I just want to commend you on your leadership.
Well, thank you so much. It has been a journey, but I have really enjoyed working for the hospital and for the county, and looking forward to much more successes in fiscal year 25. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Birch.
Make me follow her. On your desk is the Mississippi Development Guide. I try to make sure every supervisor got a copy. If you need any additional, let us know. It's also in digital. Washington County, I believe we're somewhere in the 40s of that. A couple of quick items. MDA did approve the FELO that y'all passed at the last Board of Supervisors meeting. I've given the countersign to the clerk. If y'all have any additional questions there, just let me know. On the industrial recruitment side, we did receive a grant for about $200,000 that we will be investing in building out the county's economic development plan for the next 5 years. Mainly what is going to be worked on over the next 6 to 7 months is real estate assessment. They're going to do all the site fatal flaw analysis for all county properties and then the municipal ones for industrial land and sites. A target sectorial strategy, your labor advantage analysis, all of the utility mapping and the site schedules and the cost risk adjustment against our site competitors, utility rate review of water, sewer, gas, electric, and recommendations on enhancement to materials. Once I do have that report, I will submit it all to the County Board of Supervisors, and we'll probably have a meeting between y'all and the munis on funding those projects moving forward over the next 5 years. In addition to that, Ms. Brooks, an update on the 61 and 82 Leland Industrial Site. Headwaters was here last week to complete the phase 1, the phase 2, and the wetlands report. They should have it back to us by the beginning of October. We will then file that with the state of Mississippi and Energy, and then that should meet all the pre-qualifications for that site for the next 5 years. So there won't be any more due diligence for it until 2029.
I have a question. Is there anything additional that we could do to make that site more attractive, I would say internationally?
Yeah, I think that'll be part of what comes up with what I just spoke on is once Chuck Sexton comes in and kind of explains a couple of the things that need to happen out there. If it's pre-qualified, I mean, it is a shovel-ready site. So I feel good about that. I think it's mainly about marketing it. Chuck is also going to look into what are the sectorial strategies that are right for that one. A couple of things that do make it a little bit difficult is with the highway there. Even though it's considered one industrial park, it reads as two, I think, to site selectors. In addition, we just have a couple of things like we don't have immediate access to an interstate. That one doesn't have rail or port. So if it was anything on our end to invest in beyond, it would probably be a rail system that would make it more attractive. But it's going to end up being the marketing. And my hope is that with
But
it
it's not
being-
far from the reels. It's right down the road from the reel.
Yeah, but the way site selectors view things is kind of wonky. I mean, they're very specific, but with it being so adjacent to Stoneville, what Chuck kind of said was he really thinks anything within agritech or food and beverage is probably going to be what's most likely going to be attracted to that Leland site. So once he gets us that report, he will give us all of the specs on where we need to go forward with it and his
And
recommendations.
another thing I just want to say, anything with marketing, you know, we want to support it 120% because this can be the big piece that, you know, on the international know that we're here and we're open for business.
Yep, agreed. So that is on that piece of the puzzle. We're hoping next quarter that we will have more of our outputs together for everyone. We'll be beginning to pull in some of the grant reporting, but we can actually give people the outputs on workforce development, small business entrepreneurship. The last thing I did want to talk through, and I know Iris was here earlier, we did receive the $450,000 from Delta Regional Authority on BIPOC representation within healthcare. We've begun to break out those grants. Delta Health Systems will receive $55,000. South Sunflower will receive $25,000. South Delta Planning and Development District will receive 50, and then the Greenville campus of Mississippi Delta Community College will receive 125,000. And the goal of that is to increase BIPOC representation in education and employment within the healthcare industry by at least 5%. But that is a really big win for our healthcare sectorial strategy. And we should have a couple of more that will be coming around for transportation, distribution, and logistics within the next 2 months as well. And that's what I have.
Any questions for Mr. Birch? Justin, we appreciate you.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
All righty. Bill Saint. Bill Saint.
I think you're gonna get a breath.
That's close enough.
Close enough. All right. Keep one of these for myself. I want to give y'all a little bit of an update on how things are running with the health benefit plan, and also ask that y'all approve the reinsurance agreement for the upcoming year. So there's no way to beat around the bush. This was not a good claims year. Y'all had some rather large, significant claims this year that have driven some costs. Specifically, there's about 13 large claimants currently. There's also about 25 people that are utilizing some other high-dollar drugs right now. So that's really what's driving your claims right now. You'll also see that y'all currently have 333 total employees on the plan. Y'all actually have 74 of those with families. That's a pretty significant number, and it does increase those costs as well. So currently you're at a little over $4 million in paid claims, and we've already submitted $476,000 in reimbursement claims for this past year. I actually think that number is going to end up, we're going to end up taking the reinsurer for about $1.5 million to $2 million before the end of the year. And if you'll keep in mind, we pay about $900,000 total for reinsurance premiums, which means they're going to be operating at a net loss of over $600,000. All right, the rates have been the same as they have been for quite some time. You can see that rate structure there. Y'all currently also have a specific individual limit of $70,000. We can always go up on that. I think for now it's fine. As I said, y'all are actually doing rather well as far as what y'all pay in premium versus what y'all are receiving back in premium, even with what I'm about to mention, which is a 10% increase in the reinsurance cost. Like I said, that y'all are taking advantage of that reinsurance pretty heavily. And originally that cost was projected to be over 25%. However, we negotiated with them and had them bring it back down to 10. So I do also would like to come back here in about a month and a half. I'm working on a pretty significant opportunity to drive significant cost savings. Not quite ready to give all the details on that, but I do think it will hit as few of people as possible as far as, you know, changing the way they are doing things, but will significantly reduce claims, hopefully north of $500,000 or more. Does anybody have any questions?
Well, more of a comment. I'm comparing 2020 to 2024 with the census data.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much the same. So I guess the biggest concern with our net claims compared to 2020, 2024, is it more so that the cost of living has gone up and that the rate has gone up?
I will tell you the biggest driver is, well, y'all had a very large claimant this year. That was one big driver. Number two, you also have some very significant drugs costs. That's industry-wide. That's not just your group. Specialty spend has gone up significantly with high-dollar drugs, specifically those aimed at rheumatoid arthritis and some other hard-to-treat conditions. And then y'all have about 25 people that are utilizing GLP-1 inhibitors. you'll know them by their name brands, Ozempic and Mounjaro. They are very helpful at helping reduce diabetic issues.
Right.
They also have been utilized for weight loss.
I have a question with that, but if only way you can use with your insurance, you must be type
Correct.
2. So,
so all those
insurance won't
qualify.
pay if
That's
you're
correct.
not type 2.
That's
So that
correct.
means you're diabetic.
We only, yeah. it
Right.
is- And so all those people qualify under the plan to utilize that. It is a high number of people. Unfortunately, the number probably is going to continue to go up. It's just industry-wide what is going on. Hopefully, the increase of the drug costs will actually reduce the cost on the plan by reducing weight, by reducing other issues. It will hopefully in turn, cause less long-term cost on inpatient hospitalizations and stuff like that. So there's some good and bad to everything out there, but those are a significant cost per month, and that has driven the cost pretty
I
heavily.
do have a question. The action we took with our insurance last month. Are you including those people in this number here?
That those were included in that number. This is
But
for the
those
past
but
month.
those people are now out. So
I do suspect that the claims next year will go down. However, those claims were already incurred.
so we don't do any major projections since we've taken them out.
Well, I think it will. I think we discussed a projection of what we thought those would drive down. I do believe that would drive it down in the neighborhood of over $500,000.
Right.
Correct.
I thought we probably would see it in this go.
This is discussing the claims of the past year. That is also part of the what we are discussing with the reinsurer, and that's part of why I was able to negotiate the price down, even with them losing $750,000. That was one of the ways we kind of negotiated down, is that we had some things in the works that would reduce claims.
Lee?
Some insurance companies, and I guess I'm talking to Charlisa and you as well, that require healthy use. Have we ever thought about that require them? Because some of these things, maybe if they were doing their healthy use and taking advantage of that, some of these things may be caught on the front side and maybe reduce some of this. And, there are insurance companies and, cities and different places that require them to do that. Is that something that's ever been discussed, in the past where, because like I said, a lot of people, never go to the doctor until something does happen.
Is that addressed at us?
Yeah, I'm asking, yeah.
I would say one of the great things y'all do is y'all offer the plan to the employee on the employee-only rate. It is at no cost to them. The only way you're going to drive that is to incentivize or discourage behaviors utilizing some kind of financial incentive. So you would have to say maybe we would increase the cost to the employee if you're not willing to participate in your wellness. You may have to pay $800 a year or something like that. That is the case for me on my personal plan. I don't get the $800 incentive if I do not utilize my Healthy You.
And that's what some people do. Some other, I think even some cities and things do
I
that.
think it's a great
I'm not saying
idea.
make that decision today. I'm just saying that's something we need to talk about as a board.
Plan change thing, I would suggest any plan change be January 1, because that's when everybody starts over on their deductible and all that kind of stuff. So we've got a couple months to, if we want to make some plan changes. Some of the things that Brett's talking about is going to significantly impact specifically in the prescription drugs. We just keep announcing exactly
I
how
don't
it's
want
gonna
to.
work yet.
I don't want to overpromise,
gonna happen.
underperform, but I do think we are talking $500,000 probably. I will bring someone else back up here to speak fully on that. There's already been some discussions with some facilities to make that happen, but I don't want to overpromise until I have all the ducks in a row and I have a full recommendation for you.
Well, I guess what I'm asking too is y'all see more of it than we do. The cities or counties or whatever that take advantage of the Healthy You and they put a little pressure on them to do it. Do you?
Counties significantly do underperform on LTU, and that is across the board. It is rare because most counties do offer at no cost to the employees.
Yeah.
We can do it, Lee, if you just need to decide how big of an incentive you're gonna offer, like, your deductible is 500, if you don't do it, your deductible is 1,000.
Well, I'm just talking about the gross cost. When y'all see a county that does it and does not do it, what is the savings?
It's definitely going to
on the
reduce
long
claims.
term?
On the short end, it's probably going to raise claims a little bit because
Right.
you now have some people that are getting a service that they have not traditionally gotten. In the 5 to 10 year range, you are going to catch more of your early high blood pressures, high cholesterols. You're going to catch, so you're going to reduce the cost of heart attacks. Hopefully, you will also drive a little bit of cost towards pharmaceuticals that you haven't been getting. But the drivers of pharmaceutical is certainly not your statin drugs, your Crestors, Lipitor. It is really more on the specialty drugs. So I think in the long run, it is a significant savings. It would be extraordinarily hard to quantify it. Let's say, just for the sake of an argument, probably 5 to 10% against trend.
Okay.
So trend's going to move up 5 to 10%
Yeah.
every year. So you're reducing it a little bit off of that every year.
And that's kind of what I thought. And that's definitely, we need to look into
Let
something
me
like
just
that.
add one thing. In addition to the claims you see on here, there was $1 million paid by the separate transplant policy on that one particular claim y'all are aware of. So, we didn't get a rate increase on the transplant. I don't know how, but in addition to this, there was another $1 million spent, but that didn't affect you, and that's why we have the separate transplant policy. Just in the rare event that happens, but all the premiums we paid for the last 10 or 15 years, we broke even now. So I just want to point that out.
Any other questions? Appreciate y'all.
We need to,
I would request that y'all approve the reinsurance agreement. Do you have it?
has the president's signature.
Yeah, you know, that's that.
So moved to approve
The attorney just said he has not reviewed it yet.
after the attorney reviews,
Thank you, Ms. Brooks.
yeah, with the president's signature.
All right, we'll get that to you.
Thank you, appreciate y'all.
No, appreciate you. County engineer?
Are you gonna wait and do it now, or are you gonna wait till the next meeting? I'm saying approve it with his approval.
That's your motion?
Yeah, with his approval.
Second. Jerry. We got a second, Jerry. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous. We'll get it to you.
We'll try to get it back to you.
Did you second
I
the
appreciate
motion?
all the years of being able to work with you. You're gonna see him more than me from now on, so thank you again.
All right.
Y'all's
Thank you.
blessed.
All right. Morning.
Got a few things to get with the board about this morning, just kind of update you on where we're at. Since the last meeting, and this is, I guess, the order that we carried through in that meeting, to follow up on one of the things that we addressed for Ms. Brooks, Collier Road. We worked up the program, an LSBP program on Collier Road. It was on the list to be funded, and so it was not like we had to hunt up list or reason to do, but it was on the list to be funded. So we worked up a program that needs board approval to get it on the state aid list to do.
This is it,
So
right?
moved.
That's it. That's correct.
That's the one you were talking about with the
That's
road
one of
last
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a motion
Oh, second.
and a second. Any questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right, and we will get that when Ms. Bernadine has gotten the book number on it, and we'll get it sent off as we did the ones that we've, the last meeting, we picked those up from Ms. Bernadine and got those overnighted to state aid. So they're in the process of being taken action on by state aid, but in the meantime, we're still moving forward with them. The next thing is, and this comes directly from the last meeting also, we need to cancel project SAP 7696, which was in the county state aid funding list. And the reason we want to do it is it was only programmed for $200,000. You can't build a bridge for that. And since it was a bridge project, the new SABP source of funding is kind of where it needs to be to fit in. And, so if we can cancel it, and we'll have to have a board order for that, and we've got a board order for you to cancel it, then we're gonna add it back, the same project, but with a correct amount to the SABP program.
Okay.
So it's not gonna be done away with, it'll just be changed from SAP down to SABP, where it needs to go.
Where's this bridge located?
It's on Wilmot Road.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I was gonna ask you, Wilmot Road, where about on Wilmot?
This is,
Close the bridge
Yeah.
east of, Highway one, a couple miles from there.
So you can use the other funds to help
yes,
build it. Okay.
that'll help cover the rest of the funds to build it.
Gotcha.
And how much the full amount will be?
It's gonna be, we only had, 248,500 to do it. It's gonna be in the neighborhood of $650,000.
Any other questions? Give 'em
So
motion, and I need a second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Prince. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, that's unanimous.
Yeah.
Anything else, Mr. Hooker?
Those two actions there, one is the actual board order closing it, and, the next thing you have is that program. We're programming it as SABP 7602.
Need a second motion on that?
Yes, sir.
To add it.
To add that
So
on
moved.
back on.
I got a motion?
Second.
And a second, thanks, Jerry. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed?
All
Motion
right.
carries, that's unanimous as well.
All right, that'll take care of those. Also, if you remember, we gave everybody a list last time of the closed LFBP bridges to get some feedback from the board as to what y'all would like to, order you'd like to see them done in. Did y'all get me any of those back where I can start programming those? We have-
Well, I would like to get the other bridge that's in District 4 on that list. We had 2 bridges in District 4. We just did one, and there's another bridge in District 4, and I'd like to get that one done. This one is between, I can't think of the name of the bridge, but it's between District 4 and District 3 out by,
That's one of the facilities.
yeah, that bridge.
That's one of the two, that's the 1,051,000 for those two bridges. I can't think of the name.
That's one of the ERBR.
Well, that's the money we lost in January,
Okay,
and we were able to pull that money back.
okay.
Those two bridges, one is one is on the east end, one's on the west end. One's in District 3 and District 4.
All right.
And, so we're prepared to do that, Mark, those two bridges. Yeah,
Right.
we were able to get that money back.
Yeah, we got that money, with a phone call to not pull that ERBR money back. So we're going ahead with those. Matter of fact, we're working on those as we speak.
So after that, everything in District 4 will be open. That's all we have in District 4. That's what's on your list. That was it.
No, it's something else over there.
Now, I had 2
I'll have-
bridges on District 4. That was it. I
I'll-
just wanted to make sure
yeah.
everything in my district get open.
Okay, I'm sorry, Lee.
We'll check and see, but like I say, the district, the bridge we just approved, on Collier Road, and the ERBR, project is back on the table. We're gonna go ahead with it, and it's on one of the ones on Winter Priscilla Road. So I don't know, but I'd have to look at the list to be sure that was all of them in District 4. But we'll check that and see.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I think the two that you had Cox Road and
sorry.
Surveillance Station for me, and I was gonna get with you
I got
on, was it,
two
wasn't that
on
two? I think it was. I'll get with you on that, cause, I wanted to ride out there and actually take a look, 'cause Cox Road is really, it's just a little old bitty bridge, and
Right.
so I don't know if it's something we'd be,
Okay.
to do that with. And I'll ask at the end. I had one other
Okay.
question.
Right, anyone else? Anything else for us?
Okay.
That's all that signed? Everybody, what about that one?
What about while they're looking at that, what about those, I asked you about the signs in, Glen Allen as far as the
We-
digital.
We got,
What is this right
we
here
got you
saying?
some
Sorry.
information on that. They were,
Acceptance of work.
5,000 apiece cost, yeah. And, the cost, that was just the cost for the sign.
Right.
And the radar deal. And, I'm gonna assume it's probably gonna cost them roughly $5,000 a piece to put them up each, so. I'd say we're looking at somewhere in the, we hadn't got bids on it, but.
Let me
we
look,
brought
can I have
best-
this
best
copy?
estimate,
Okay.
yeah, And, come up with it, but we're gonna be in the neighborhood of
That was different,
$10,000 a piece to get them operational.
Okay,
That's based off some quotes we had looked at previously.
gotcha.
And that's similar to the one you see over there in Leland, similar.
Okay, gotcha.
It's a different company, but it's the same
Any other questions?
intention.
All right, we get the document signed, and
Okay,
Go
I'll
ahead,
get those. Yes, sir. We had several other things to let you know. We had, received a letter, early, the first part of September, requesting the county's intentions on, making repairs to the Sunflower River Road Bridge, where the Bogue Fly dumps into the Sunflower River.
Right.
And, the county had previously gotten a letter back in April, and had no information provided to state aid. So they were getting ready to tell us to close that bridge. And, so we went down and met with them, and the county had taken the action, some action on it, but had not, provided state aid with answers. So we told them that the county had done some action, and we were gonna go down and re-inspect it, and, would work with the county crews to do, some of the extra work on it, to get that thing from sliding off into the Bogue. It's a pretty serious, situation, and it's gonna be a pretty expensive project. But I believe we can make enough temporary repairs to get, state aid happy. But, I'd like the board to, I guess, okay us developing a set of plans to ask for an EWP project on it. It's gonna take a lot of riprap going from the Sunflower back up into the Bogue Fly to stabilize the banks and that sort of thing. And, like I said, the county, we're gonna have to get with the county and get a long boom track hoe down there to take some drift out of the middle. It's pretty much stopped up in between two bents of piles out in the middle. It's gonna be hard to get that out because it's a pretty good distance from the bank there in the Bogue, and the banks are steep to get a piece of equipment up and down. Used to, we would've done it with a drag line, and sometimes you can do it with a track hoe sitting on the bridge, but sometimes you can pull the bridge down doing it. So it's kind of a hard thing to do, but we can look at with them, and I believe we can make enough temporary repairs to satisfy state aid and, answer their questions and buy us some time for us to apply for an EWP project, if that's satisfactory.
Second.
we got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Okay.
Any
All right.
opposed? Motion carries.
We'll get on with that. We've also talked with Ms. Carter about some reports that, may be filed with the county, on some of these, previously programmed projects. I think there was some money expended to do some geotechnical, work and some wetlands and environmental reports. And, I've asked Ms. Carter to look and see if y'all have them. And, we also asked state aid to see if they have them. And if they have them, it'll save us a lot of time, going to redo them, because those things usually take a little while, especially the environmental. But we have, reached out, and we are looking, Ms. Carter's looking, and state aid is looking to get those. And, I think some of them you paid for, so we just need to get a copy of it. And,
Well, the
we'll
attorney
take
sent
care
a
of it.
request as well, so.
Good,
We'll
that's
find out
good.
where that is.
That's great. Ms. Brooks had asked me about Long Switch Road. It came up in the last meeting, and I advised her that I rode it, of course, from out at Hollow Ridge all the way back to Highway 1. You're talking probably $5-6 million to do, enough projects on it with state aid money. We would have to phase those in, as the board chooses to do those.
Well, actually, with that particular project, I brought up using use tax dollars for, Long Switch, if you remember from the last board meeting.
Okay.
We do have dollars for Long Switch, and I made a request to do, not the entire road, just start from county line between Washington County and Sunflower County to the railroad track.
Now, use of those funds is a complete board decision.
Yeah.
And of
Well,
course,
I'm putting it on out
And you're
there.
talking about the railroad track from where the road from Highway 82 comes into it, there where the old gym was.
Right by the gym. That's
Yeah.
the area
Yeah.
that I brought it to the
Right.
board's attention before, and I really need to get that road done. It's, Reverend King's here. His buses ride that road, and it's extremely bad. I've got calls from his drivers. I'm getting calls from citizens who live the Polycines. All of them are calling me, and you had a chance to ride the road. It's not even a road anymore. And
we all
so,
rode it.
I think that road and Old Leland Road from Beans, those are the two worst roads in Washington County, and they happen to be in my district. And so those are my biggest concerns as I brought to y'all before, that we must get those roads repaired.
How much, how much is in that fund, Charlisa? The used tax fund?
A few million.
Have you done just how much, 2.6? Have you done just an estimated cost on that? That's what you were talking around?
That was just rough figures, and we'll actually do, some refine those figures. But didn't we work on Old Leland Road from the Beans to?
We've got some cost estimates.
And they were in the neighborhood of $8-10 million.
Well, that was the whole thing. We'll break out those estimates.
We'll break it down to, to fit this criteria right here.
Yes.
So y'all can pick, whatever you wanna pick, we're good with it.
Let me say something to this board. Now, that's in the city limits of Greenville. And today we're gonna share with you, the city will have, once we get it into the county, $500,000 to assist them with their street projects. Has to be streets, they'll have to choose. Of course, we talked about Morning Dove, Robert Shaw East, Cerula Circle, helping them. And I wanna say Sampson Road, but that $500,000 is money they can use if they decide to prioritize Old Leland Road from number 1 to the county line. It'll be their decision. And once we get the money in Washington County, we'll communicate with them that those funds are available. And hopefully today, Ms. Carter will be asking for permission to set up bank accounts for that $500,000, as well as $1.5 million that'll help the airport. And then we'll discuss another $513,000. Okay.
Mr. President, I hear what you're saying. This board passed an order to do the entire road ourselves,
Which road?
Old Leland Road. My only concern, $500,000, as we know, is not a lot of money to repair roads. And I'm almost sure the city of Greenville is gonna use that money for other streets. We've passed the order to do the entire road of Old Leland Road. It was passed even before I got on the board, and it's just sitting there. So I would not ask the city of Greenville to try to assist with this particular project, because Greenville has so many other roads to be done. Of course, $500,000 may do a road or two. We have the funding, it is in state aid, so my concern is this board has approved it, and I'd like for the board to do it itself versus try to take away from the city of Greenville for their very minute amount.
That's a beautiful speech, but
It's not a
if you could
speech,
provide,
it's not a
Okay.
speech.
well,
It's
if you,
what has been taking place in this board.
all right, if you would provide those minutes, and we would honor those minutes.
Miss Carter, could you pull the minutes up
Oh, yes.
so he can read it again for a third
Oh, yeah.
time? Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Burndy, could you pull over? Ms. Carter don't keep the minutes.
I know, but I'm talking to Miss Carter because Miss Carter does keep the minutes along
have an
with
idea what meeting that
along with
was?
the chancellor clerk office.
You have an idea what meeting that was?
She'll bring it up for me between
those
she and Mrs. I'm talking to Miss Carter. She's brought it up before. Thank you.
Carl.
Haley,
You talked about two different funds. You was talking about the 2.6 out of the tag, and then the state aid funds,
Old Leland Road.
out of which fund?
He and I talked about state aid, but I'm just, at this point, it's more so just identifying dollars that's available to repair those two roads. At this point, I'm not caught up where the money comes, as long as we get the money taken care of, but we do have state aid dollars. As she brought to our attention, we do have $2.6 million. I'm not sure how much the Long Switch project's gonna take, but I know Old Leland Road has been standing to be done almost 7 years.
But I think if, on that board order, if I'm not mistaken, we were gonna do some work in-house on that.
On
I think,
what?
On Old Leland Road, that part
No,
of it.
it was
I
not.
think that's what it was.
Well,
when we got
actually,
done.
the order did not say in-house. The order just pretty much said to do it.
Well, because I think,
You-
did you just say that cost would probably be between 8 and 10 million for the whole length?
We had done several estimates.
Okay.
to take the whole thing, yes, sir.
Yeah.
We
Let
will
me-
revise the estimates and bring it back to y'all to
Okay.
finalize. how
let me, if I may, if I may, let me share this. We did have a conversation about Old Leland Road, and the conversation was that we would supply the equipment and the manpower. It was clearly said by District 4 supervisor that we can do the work, but these cities need to pay for the material. That's what was said about Old Leland Road by Ms. Brooks. And I, excuse me, Ms. Brooks, please allow me to finish.
Yes, please
Thank
complete with your untrueness.
And that's what you will find if you go back and pull those minutes. We have never said that we would pay to do that. We never allocated funds. It may have been said outside of this meeting, but you will not find it in our minutes. On a couple of occasions, while we had assets, the equipment on this end, including working on Old Leland Road, the city was asked, hey, we have the assets here. Do you all want to go ahead and purchase your asphalt? And we can do the overlay. They said no. They wasn't ready at the time. When South Star Working came back to the north end, did work in Golden Acres and Winterville on this end before we headed back south again. Are you all prepared to purchase your materials? They once again said, no, you pay for it, county pay for it, and we'll reimburse you. And we said no. And to this day.
Who said no?
We said no. And to this day, the city has to prioritize what they want to do. Now, I don't know what they put in their budget this year, this coming fiscal year, for street and roads. And hopefully they put enough money in it to manage some of them, whatever their pavement management plan is or anything else. But you will not find in our minutes where we said we would pay to have streets done. It was expressed several times by members of this board that the municipalities should pay for their own material. Mr. Gordon?
And I just tag on with that, and we also had, there were some bad spots there that they were gonna prep before we done that.
They did the prep.
There's a lot of, some sewer lines that needs to come away from the street, and I think some water line crossings and some ditches that need to be repaired before, you know, I would put any money in the road itself.
Right, okay.
Yeah, in that section, from number 1 over to the county line, which is Main Canal.
Right, gotcha.
Also, Mr. Hooker, with Old Leland Road, would you also do a number, with some numbers from the Leland city line going up to, what's the name of the road? Road we just completed, and Drive.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, cause I wanted to do those projects through phases. And just to follow back with Old Leland Road, we actually voted to do it as a state aid project, prior to you coming in as the new engineer. And so I'm gonna get those
Minutes.
I'm gonna get those minutes as well, where we agreed to do it as state aid as well.
Okay.
So if we doing it as state aid, clearly the city is not participating in that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Part of that section, the Brooks, is not on the state aid system. They'll only participate in roads that are on the system. Part of that, that you mentioned from the city of Leland back out to Feather Farms is on the state aid system. And pretty much from Feather Farms Road back to Ann Drive-In Road, roughly in there, maybe a few feet one way, is not on the state aid system, so they won't participate in that. And, but we can get a number to do it anyway, in case you wanna do it with some tax dollars or something like, I mean, use tax dollars.
Well,
But
actually,
state aid, there's no more state aid money available this board term.
well, I just wanna bring to your attention, for 2 years, I talked to state aid about this small area that was not in state aid.
Yes, ma'am.
They pretty much explained to me that all we had to do is programming to feed state aid. Now, this is coming from their office,
Yeah.
cause that was one of my concerns, cause I was looking
Yeah.
to do Old Leland Road in 4 stages, in 4 phases, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And so the part you're talking about will be going into almost the 4th stage, the 4th phase.
Yeah.
So that's over 4 years I was looking at. But going back to Old Leland Road from Highway 1 to Raceway Road is a main concern. And it is also a main fairway for the city of Greenville and Washington County, and also an evacuation route should something take place in Greenville or Arkansas. We need to go east versus everybody taking Highway 82. Some people still can take Old Leland Road for safety. So the concern is, it is a very safety route as well that we need to get repaired. It's one of the worst roads as well, along with Long Switch.
To add that one section on to get the state aid, we'd have to, actually bore, the pavement to see what the pavement thickness is. It's already there. It was done before state aid took, would take it over, so we would have to do that.
Now, what area are you talking about?
The area that we talked about from Ann Drive-In Road to Feather Farm
What,
Road.
I understand that. Right now, my
Yeah.
biggest concern, phase 2 for me would be Highway 1 to Raceway Road. And then I'll jump to phase 3 once we get that completed.
Okay. All right. Well, it'll take some time to get that other phase, up to where state aid would be. Let us add it to the route. And then, then we'd have to bring it back to the board so that, that the board would approve the route.
If we can
Which I'm
start-
sure you would. It's just a matter of being sure that state aid will accept it when we put it down there.
If we can start working on it, so when that time comes, because it'll probably be sometime next year, we get to that part, I would like, it'd be good if we can start do what we need to do to get approved for the next year for state aid.
All right. And just so we understand each other too, they, they won't approve a program to spend state aid money to do any of it this board term because there's no more state aid money available at this time. In other words, they may, I've not seen them do it before, but they may get another influx of money that, I think the legislature is looking at putting some more money at state aid, but as it stands now, we've programmed all the state aid money for roads that we have.
For the two
So,
streets, for
for-
Mr. Redmond,
For,
for Mr.
for this,
McGee
this
and
board
Mr.
term.
Supervisors.
well, things
and
that
your
have been
district.
approved already, similar. And, so anyhow, that, would have to be after
No,
that time.
the state aid is what Lorenzo knew, that's where that money went to.
No, no, no.
Yes, it was.
He just said state aid is going to your road and your road. The things that
What do you-
Lorenzo submitted is not being done.
Where's the state aid, funding
We had roughly $2 million in state aid funding.
left?
And, we've, North Broadway had been planned for some time and it was put to that to see if we had enough money for it. And then, not the road money, but the bridge money, state aid bridge program.
Gotcha.
Which was new, that was to provide for the bridge, on Club 17 Road, and it will also
That's
take
right,
up this other Wilmot Road, I think, that you'd asked for, that was programmed before, and then we
Right.
had to change it from state aid to state
Gotcha.
aid bridge program.
But I know you're talking about bridge. I was talking about roads.
Yeah.
What's the two roads you gonna be doing with state aid dollars right now that's been maxed out?
Till we get, the roads that we have planned right now is North Broadway.
And nothing
Broadway,
else.
And-
Some of it will pay for that
Yeah.
Wilmot Bridge because it was underfunded in the original program.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Right.
So the total amount that's available for this term has been allocated on the programs that y'all approved at the last meeting and the program.
For the
just
North
approved
Broadway.
today.
The
The
North
North Broadway
Broadway
and
and-
some of the SAP, the state aid money will also help fund the project on the Wilmot Road Bridge.
And how
Yeah.
much is the North Broadway project?
It's a little over, 2.3 million, 2.3, something like that. We've got, we approved the program at the last minute, the last board meeting. I don't
Right.
have it with me, but
Right.
that was the basic of it, that. And also part of it was to fund the bridge on Wilmot that you talked about, that we moved from state aid roads to the state aid bridge program where we'd have it in the right category for state aid. It was not in the right category.
Yes, sir. My only concern is, just as you made Broadway a priority, please.
I didn't make a road.
I understand,
the
but
board did.
I know, no, we came to this board meeting, no one reached out to me and asked me about my road. It was already programmed, all we had to do was approve. So my only concern is I'm bringing to your attention the importance to me and the citizens of Washington County and in District 4, the importance of Old Leland Road, right at this point from Highway 1 to Raceway Road.
We're all in agreement, but this is a board decision, not my decision.
I
But we
understand.
all agree, I think everybody here agrees that Old Leland Road is a priority road. It's just a
Okay.
matter of finding money to do it.
I'm
And
s-
we're gonna come up with some estimates for it to
Okay.
start I guess, searching for the money to put that in.
Well,
That's
the
not
most-
a problem.
No, that's not,
Is
that-
working up the estimates
that's
for
the
you.
biggest concern, is helping identify the funds, and I'm
Yeah.
sure you can help do that.
We will do our best.
Thank you.
Well, what we'll do, Mark, we'll make sure we go ahead and move forward, keep moving forward with these projects.
Yes,
And
sir.
as the board list priorities,
Yes, sir.
we'll ask for the projects to be put together,
Right,
the initial phases, and we'll work on finding those funds.
right, exactly. That's kind of where that'd put us all on the same page.
Yeah, and that won't be an issue. We'll find the
Right.
money.
Good.
As long as
And-
we're spending it,
Yeah,
as long as we're spending the
we're
money.
gonna be spending it.
Or as long as we're
We're gonna
spending the
spend it,
money,
'cause, you
that's
know,
the key.
Technically, you know, the county engineer's not supposed to get paid till you spend the money.
All right. Wait a minute.
And I just one or two other things, forest acres, you asked me about forest acres. I reached out to Burley and, they said the last action they had come up with some proposals for the board to do some wetlands assessment and the surveys they needed to do it, and, brought a proposal to the board to get approved before they could move ahead, and those were never approved, so they have not moved ahead with it.
What you mean they have, did we pay them for that, Mrs. Carter?
That, for
That's fine.
preliminary work.
We need to write
They had a proposal to do to actually do a project from, start from one end to the other
Right.
on doing the wetlands assessment and the surveys and the design to get it done. And, they brought the proposal to the board and the board tabled it, their proposal, and
Hold
was
on,
not ever
I'm
moved forward.
listening.
Okay?
All right, I wanna know exactly did we pay Burley for them, cause I was under impression when they received their dollars, it was for the proposal they put together, and we should own it if we paid for it.
I think what my understanding was, what y'all paid was, the preliminary work to get it to proposal status. And,
Did he give you a copy of that?
he gave me a copy of the proposal, yes.
So is that cause he did a work order, not a work order, but he put a proposal together, and it was like $2 million
Right.
for the wetlands. Do you have that?
No, I do not have that. No, I don't have that. I've got where he sent us, just an email copy of the proposal that was brought to the board. He didn't bring me, I did not ask for the total scope of work. Since the board tabled it, I just assumed y'all weren't gonna move forward.
But we paid him something, so I wanna know what
Yeah.
we paid them
Yeah.
for, because we paid for the scope of work, we need to be able to have access to it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure if we ask him, he'll give us anything that y'all pay for. It won't be it was no him hawing around.
Right,
He just said, we brought our proposal to the board to do a project, the wetlands assessment, the surveys and all of it, and it was tabled by the board at the time.
So did he give you a copy of the proposal that
No.
he submitted?
No, I do
Okay.
not have a copy of it, but I can get a copy of it.
All right, thank you.
Okay,
Okay, let me do this. We approved, to move forward with SABP 7602, which is Wilmont Road, Bridge, and LSBP 7633 Collier Road. And we have the signatures, all but one, Ms. Brooks, and I just need that to be reflected in the minutes. Says she was not going to sign, even though.
No, I did not say that. I passed it back, cause I need to go back and review it, cause I don't know what
you?
I'm signing, I need to read it.
Well, here you go.
Okay,
Take your time.
thank you.
We
I-
can finish, get it back by next week if that's enough time. for you.
Thank you kindly.
All right. Mark?
just also to let you know, we're gonna have the, ERBR projects done before, of course, they're supposed to be done by December. But, we're gonna have them bid for December, and that should take care of, our timeline there that you got us an extension on. And also, we're gonna have the ERBR, the second round of ER projects, the Avondale Road and the surveillance station. We'll have those ready, and appreciate your help on getting some time extension on that too. And, that'll give us some, breathing room to get those in, and where we won't come nowhere near their deadline, and keep
Outstanding.
everything going.
Outstanding. Marcus?
Mr. Griffin, did you have a timeline on when we may get these reports back from them, that anything y'all may have paid as far as the geotechnical? I know you sent a letter,
We sent the letter out, it was 10 days
10 days.
And you sent a letter out,
last week. We sent the letter out Wednesday, I believe.
so we'll give them 10 days, so at the next board meeting, we'll be prepared to move forward and actually contract those services once again. We'll have a
Right,
secret
they-
code.
you have a copy, you have a copy for the minutes?
Copy of, yeah,
And I'm gonna
the letter he
send you
sent.
that copy.
Well, make sure we need a copy.
We'll send you a copy.
No, they don't need a copy. They, copy of the letter's fine. They need the information. They
Yeah.
need the material. They need the data.
I need to know.
But if we don't get it in 10 days, we need to move forward.
It has been repaired on Cullen Road, half a mile off of Highway 12. And it's been repaired in-house. We're waiting on state aid to inspect it or do something, because I got a problem with the mailman and my farmers is hard as a crop line. I need that bridge open.
They probably not requested a re-inspection of, which one was it, Mr. Edmond?
McCullough.
McCullough Road?
If they haven't, we'll have that request in this afternoon,
Outstanding.
and I will let you know.
And we can,
It's supposed to been put in about weeks ago, I guess, by the time they finish it.
Yes,
They
sir.
told me they should have something.
I think,
Yeah.
we haven't heard anything from them, but we'll make a point to get an answer for it and get you an answer on it.
All right, shoot us an email if you would.
Sure will.
Okay.
All right. That's-
Anything else? Any
No.
questions? For
If you have any questions, Ms. Brooks, just give me a call and we're glad to go over and share with you anything, you know.
Could you share your number with me?
Show
I
your
don't
map.
have it. I don't have your number. What is it?
It's the
Uh,
same
write
number
it
you
down.
called
Why don't
on
you
here
write
a
it down
couple
and
weeks
give it-
ago,
Mark.
662.
Mark, why don't you write it down and give it to them? Because
Thank
we're
you.
still live. All right, if there's nothing else, David Burford's not here, I don't believe. Attorney Ashley Harris and Superintendent King. Appreciate y'all's patience.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Attorney Ashley Harris. I'm the board attorney for Leland School District. In 2022, the district bought some property from Osceola Properties out of Florida. It was, excuse me, let me take this gum out of my mouth. Thank you. In 2022, the district bought some property from Osceola Properties, which is a company out of Florida that's situated right in Leland. We were gonna use it for our central office space. And as you know, a school district is tax exempt. So we acquired the property in 2022. Osceola chose McGee and Bogan Law Firm to do the loan closing, and everything was good with the purchase as far as we were concerned. 2022, we had the property, no taxes were owed because we're tax exempt. 2023, we've got the property, no taxes owed, we're tax exempt. 2024, we still have the property. Well, unbeknownst to us and to our surprise, Reverend King was served on August 30th with a notice to vacate from this place, these people called Penn Pacific Properties. After doing research, at the time McGee and Bogan did the loan closing for the district in 2022, there were taxes from 2021 that was owed by Osceola Properties for about 14 grand, unbeknownst to the district. This was not disclosed at the time of the sale. Reverend King got with me. I immediately filed a petition in Chancery Court to remove cloud upon title and to set aside the tax sale. That's pending, but I chose to come before the board first to speak to you and see what can be done. After doing further research, talking with Ms. Patricia Lee, talking with Ms. Bernadine, talking with Ms. Monica in the tax assessor's office, we saw where in November 23, certificate, something was sent via certified mail to the district about the taxes, but it was returned back undeliverable. That was November 23. We then saw that a few months later, service was effectuated on a Loretta Ranson. It was spelled wrong. She is not the appropriate person. Reverend King is the superintendent. If anybody files suit against the school district in Leland, you have to serve the superintendent. That was not done. So we're all caught by surprise that now we've lost our property through this tax sale. A tax deed was issued upon our review in April of 24. Now I'm trying to dot all I's, cross all Ortiz. I have already filed the complaint in our Chancery Court. I served Ms. Marilyn Hansel last week, served our district attorney, served Lynn Finch at the Attorney General's office. I've even run it in the newspaper. It ran for the first time Wednesday. It's gonna publish again this Wednesday and again next Wednesday. But if we don't have to do all that, I'm hoping that this board will set it aside so we don't have to litigate the issue. As we all know, a school district is tax exempt. We had no reason to believe that there were unpaid taxes. Now, what should have happened, and I hope we don't have to go that route, McGee and Bogan should have put those taxes into that sale price, but they did not. And that's where we are. We just simply did not know. Now, the district is prepared to pay those taxes, to retrieve our property, reclaim our property. Although we shouldn't, but to move on, we're willing to do that, and we'll deal with it. I've talked with Mr. Griffin this morning over the phone. I'll deal with that if I have to go to the next level. Really hate to bring another lawyer before the court, but we have to do what we have to do to protect our kids in the school district in Leland. So that's what we're here asking you all to do this morning.
Lee, you go.
A couple questions. What's the cost? What's the sale?
It was about $14,000 and some change.
And again, you're right, the closing attorney, you know,
Josh
I would think that they would be responsible at some degree if all else fails, you know, for that. I
Right.
mean, you know, at closing, that's what you hire attorneys to do
That's
for
right.
that, so that would be, so again, just to clarify, so what are you asking from our board
I'm
today?
asking the board to set the tax sale aside.
Okay,
That's what
Mr.
I'm
Attorney.
asking you all to do.
and I guess I'd refer to you.
Well, first of all, you know, I sympathize with you.
Thank you.
I learned about this for the first time about 7:15 this morning. Ms. Harris called me, and I was, at the time when she called, I was speaking to my grandchild's birthday today, and so once I got off the phone, because I was heading to the office, I called her right back. These are difficult issues, and the appropriate forum, in my judgment, was when she filed that action in Chancery Court, because apparently the district had received an eviction notice, which basically means that they were seeking to evict the school district from the property. Okay? And the Chancery judge has the authority to enter an injunction enjoining that action, which the board cannot do. The board cannot enjoin eviction notice, which would then go to another court. She has compelled them to appear in Chancery Court, which is the appropriate thing to do. Now, here's the problem, and I explained that to Ashley this morning.
Ms. Harris.
A tax deed has been issued, okay? Which basically means that this other group has a claim as well as the Leland School District. Now, I don't encourage school districts to offer to pay anybody's taxes, because you can't, okay? Legally, you cannot pay those taxes. The taxes are due and owed, should this matter get set aside, not by Leland School District. You can't take money from the children. You know, I represent a school district for in excess of 30 years. You can't take money out of the school district and pay somebody's tax. The school district never owes any taxes. You're exempt. Which basically means even if this matter is set aside, someone else would have to pay the taxes. Namely, the initial obligation, and you were correct, this should have been picked up by the examiners of that title, whoever that was. You could, you know, someone can look to them to recover those taxes, or to the original owner who owes it. Generally speaking, the original owner, because this date back, actually I looked at your deed a moment ago, your deed date back apparently to 2021, not 2022, June of 2021, which basically means that for those 2021 or 2022 taxes, 2022, the district, there would not have been when the district acquired it, no taxes should have been due and owed. should have been picked up, okay?
Right.
So the lawyer who, or whoever did examine the title should have picked that up and failed to do so, all right? Which basically means that, you know, I'd have that lawyer in court as well, okay? But with respect to what this board can do, normally what we have done in other cases, and I tried to explain that to you this morning, I recommended you hold off on this.
Mhm. And that's what I'm-
Let me finish. Let me
okay.
finish. Okay. What this board has been doing, because, you know, we've been inundated with some of these things, don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, okay? This is not the one, this is not the first one we've got. I got
Right.
several right now. We simply enter an appearance and indicate that the board has no objection to the chancellor
Right.
judge taking the appropriate action
Right.
to ensure that this school district, as well as any other owner, you know, receive it's their rights, that their rights are protected. So with that being said, you know, because of the Chancery Court, and I just, like I said, I didn't know about it until, but Miss Holmes, I asked her about it when I got to the board meeting, and she brought the file in here, and I looked through it. I was unaware of that the lawsuit had been filed.
I filed the lawsuit
Yeah.
September 3rd, and with all due respect, I know you recommended that I, you know, come before the board in October, but I was on your agenda. I didn't want to not show up, and this
Right,
board was so
okay.
gracious to host us.
Yes.
So I showed up, but we're
Right,
willing
and-
to allow you time to review it, although we did serve the clerk last week in
Yeah,
due time.
I'd like to take a look at it, and, you know,
Right.
it'll enable us, as we've done in other cases, say to the board, we didn't have an objection. Certainly, if there was a deed out there, when the notice was sent out,
Mhm.
then appropriate notice should have been sent to the school.
There
district.
is no notice to
But-
Reverend King
right.
at all,
Yes.
any place.
But watch this,
Mhm.
the district still couldn't pay those taxes, Reverend King.
Well, you know, that's gonna have to be litigated,
Okay.
but we'll deal with that.
No. The district cannot pay anyone's tax, okay?
I know what we can't do, but that's not
no,
gonna stop them from trying to
there
recoup
have
that
been
money
ca-
from us.
There have been cases where there was a failure to collect taxes from the appropriate body or owner, prior owner, and, you know, not in this county, but in some other counties.
You know the case site?
Off the top of my head, there's potential for, because you exempt, there's potential for a body to lose some taxes, if, you know, but the district can't pay those taxes. I'm just gonna be honest with you, okay? Now, you know, we'll welcome your money, but you not obligated to pay it,
We understand.
okay?
So if we could, I would ask permission to be placed on your agenda for October.
I think the Chancellor Jury will probably have resolved this issue by then.
He won't, because you have 30 days to answer my lawsuit. You were just served
I'm
September
gonna
10th.
answer this week.
But the Attorney General has to answer, Penn Pacific has to answer, Mr. Dwayne Richardson has to answer, the
Now-
publication has to continue to run, so
Uh,
it has not
let me
even
ask-
been set
let
on
me
the
ask you
court's
this.
docket.
Did you file a motion for injunctive relief? Because
I
of that?
filed, yes, I've covered all bases,
Alright.
complaint to
Now-
remove cloud upon title, set aside and void tax sale, and enjoin defendants from initiating eviction
And the
proceedings.
judge will not set the motion for preliminary injunction?
They have 30 days to answer.
Not a motion for preliminary
But I don't
injunction?
wanna put it off on a judge if I can get the board to do it. Don't make us do all that. I know, and I'm aware of lawyers who come
The
before this
can't-
board and who.
Watch this,
But hold on, Mr. Griffin,
Harris.
please.
The board cannot take any action either
Okay, Mr. Griffin.
without notice to the third party.
But hold on one second, Mr. Griffin. I know of attorneys who stood before this board and had you all to set aside tax sales. Here I am
have.
representing a school district.
we
I'm
have
not.
done that
Only-
Yes, I know, and I don't wanna call their names, but I know attorneys who done
Only
that.
after we gave notice to everybody involved. Now,
Okay.
have you given notice to this group?
Yeah, I've served them. I served Penn Pacific on September
Have
10th.
you
They're,
notified them that you were coming before this board?
no, I didn't have to.
Okay.
I didn't have to let them know I'm coming before the board. But I served them, they were served through their registered agent, CT Corporation in Flowood, Mississippi. I served them personally myself. and they have not answered yet.
For a court action, correct?
Yes, I don't have,
But before this board can take action, if any the board can take, the board would have to give them notice.
I'm not aware of the board ever doing that before, with
Well-
other attorneys,
Mr. Griffin, I have a question.
I got one over here.
and that's
Okay,
not
you go ahead.
statutory.
Ms. Harris?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
just curious, when the closing attorney, what was their response to this? Or have you talked to them, or?
Josh Bogan is up in age, and he is not even working like that. He's in Oxford. He's pretty much retired. I think the only
That
thing
was
he
the
does.
closing
Mhm.
attorney?
The only thing he's been doing is he still represents the city of Leland, but he's not in any active litigation. I know he was having some health problems, so I have not even.
Because, I just go back to how did this even, get to this point,
And if I could speculate, I worked in his office for 2 years before I got my own office. Miss Elaine does a lot of that paperwork. She does the loan closings and the estates and things like that. So it may have been an oversight, and she's much more elderly than he is. But she was the one who would do that paperwork.
But, so at the end result, and you might have mentioned this, so at some point, you may have to turn back to them and say, hey, y'all certified this to be clean
Right.
title.
Right.
Okay.
And that's what I'm hoping I don't have to do. I don't have to do that if the board, takes action and set it aside. And we'll deal with working out the property taxes later, because I'm gonna reach out to Osceola, who sold us the property. So I got some stuff to do.
And I guess my last question, is this building occupied right now? Are y'all in it? Are y'all using it?
No,
or-
we're not. We were gonna use it for our central office space. Matter of fact, we were actually about to sell it last year, because Family Dollar was gonna buy it and open it up, because they were rat infested in Leland. But that fell through, so we're not using it.
And last question, where exactly is this building at?
It's right there on Main Street. It's the old Getwell Pharmacy building, if you're familiar
know.
with Leland.
Yeah.
Yep, so
Okay.
that's the property.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, attorney, so I guess my concern is, we have council tax sales this board has, so what would need to take place that we do council this tax sale as we have done in the past for other entities?
The others, first of all, were not in court. There were no pending court action, number one.
Well, I filed
Let me
dismiss it
finish, let me
today,
finish,
if
let me
that needs to
finish.
be
Ms.
done.
Let me finish. Number two, we made certain that, you gotta make certain that the taxes are paid or that someone is accountable for the taxes. Number three, that person, he or she, or it being a corporation that's claiming ownership, we have to have those folks in before the board as well. The one you talking about was with respect to Nick Crawford. He came in here a number of times making that request, if you would recall, before this board took any action, okay? And they made certain that all of the potential liens, et cetera, with respect to tax and everything was satisfied, okay? Now, with that being said, if that's the initial thing you gotta do, let's get all these folks in here.
Who?
Penn, whoever Penn is.
You
You
want them
mentioned- you
summoned
mentioned-
to the board meeting? I don't
No,
have
no, no,
authority to
hold it.
subpoena them to come to your board meeting.
Excuse me?
I don't have authority to subpoena them
no.
to come to your board
We're
meeting.
not actually, you can invite them, okay, by letter notifying them that the board is considering. Here we go. These defendants here.
Yes.
okay?
Where is that
No, 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 no.
statutorily required for
Well,
me to
actually,
do
Mr.
that?
Griffin, in the past, when we cancel tax sales, the person we canceled on, none of them were at our board meeting.
Right.
That is absolutely not true.
That-
They
that's very
didn't
true.
show up,
But
but
it said
guess
that,
what?
but they were not here, that's why, I just said they were not here, you said they
We-
didn't show
we
up,
had
same
something to
difference.
indicate that they had no opposition to it, all right? Okay? Yeah, I made it clear that we have to notify these folks. And they had no opposition. Here, we don't know if Penn Pacific has opposition or not, okay? That's the key. They hold a deed, a
That's
tax
not required
deed.
by statute for me to give them
I
notice.
think you better read the statute, read the statute. The same statute that you sued them by.
Right.
Is the same statute.
Notice is required for court. No, I don't have to give them notice them coming before the board to ask the board to use its discretion
Ms.
and set
Harris,
aside a
Ms.
tax
Harris.
sale?
Ms. Harris,
Ms. Griffin, you gotta let us speak.
Yeah,
you know, I have nothing for you.
that's not That's
Harris?
not, I've read the statute, I've cited it in my, I'm arguing there hasn't been sufficient notice. Reverend King had been served. There's not a dispute. We can call Miss Patricia Lee in here. We can call Miss Monica from Tax Assessor, and even Miss Bernadine. We have the proof that Reverend King hasn't been served anyplace.
We're not saying that, okay?
So that's
We're-
why I'm
we're
asking the
saying
tax sale to be
that
set aside.
Our Chancellor Clerk's office issued a tax deed. Is that not true?
That's true.
To this group, Pacific, who paid the taxes. all
No,
right?
well, yeah, I guess,
Yeah, they paid the tax. That's the only way they can receive a tax deed.
okay.
Okay? Then, are you suggesting that this board, before it grants you some relief, should not give them notice and an opportunity to be heard?
They're not before you asking for anything.
No.
And
That-
I'm
you
wondering, why is
understand my
this
question?
required of us when I know
All right.
of, it's never
Do
been
you
required
understand my
before?
question?
I do, but I'm trying to understand the legal justification behind your question.
All right, let me do this. What's your recommendation to the board?
My recommendation is, before this board take action, that we notify the now alleged, and I'm not saying they are the actual, I think Leland School District is the actual owner, the alleged owner of this property, okay, and give them an opportunity to come before this board.
So if I come back before the board
No.
with a letter showing that I've sent them a letter, would that
I'm
be
gonna
sufficient
send
for
them
you to?
notice. I'm gonna send them a
Okay, you're
letter,
gonna do that.
okay?
With board approval?
Yes, sir.
So moved.
For our attorney to send them a letter?
Had a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
So, Mr. President, can I be placed back on your agenda for October 7th?
I tell you what, whenever you're ready, just come back. Don't get on it. But we can, but if you can't make it, it's all right. But when you're ready,
I'm ready October 2nd. The sooner the better for us to get this resolved.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And I do have one other question. Is it possible, and the reason I'm just asking these questions too about the attorney that closed.
No. October 2nd.
7th.
I'm sorry, you're right. Go ahead.
Is it possible that, I mean, is there anything that on our behalf that we, as a board or as a county, was there, when they were trying to get that information, that we dropped the ball anytime?
Yes.
That's what I'm getting to.
The county
Because
did
that
not-
was some of the reasons in the past that we done that.
So I put that in my complaint. The county did not send proper notice out to Reverend King. They didn't do that at all.
When the attorney closing it was trying to get the information, did they get all the information? And that's why I was wondering if you talked to them for
I
us.
hadn't talked to Josh Bowe.
And I think that would be, I would like that, just to say, hey, what happened here?
I'll
You
be
know,
able to
say-
report
yeah.
that to you on the
Yeah.
7th.
Okay.
And Mr. President, I'm asking, that's my youth court day, if I can be placed at the top of your agenda? Thank you. May we be excused?
Now,
And it-
before you go, let's make this perfectly clear. I'm not sending Josh Bogan a letter. I'm
I
sending.
just heard it.
Right, there's someone listed in a letter, from Reverend King that I saw in that file. We will be sending that person notice, okay? There's a letter that's attached as an exhibit to the complaint that, Ms. Harris filed on behalf of the district. The letter you received, Reverend King, we will be sending that person notice because that's the person.
He
that's
represents
entitled
Penn
to notice.
Pacific. Okay.
All
I
right.
do have a question. She brought to our attention that the letter was sent to, not to Reverend King. How does that happen?
We send it to the Leland School District,
Mhm.
and it's not directly to the superintendent.
Well, they sent it to
What we
Ms.
do is
Ransom,
take
the
what is
secretary.
what we do is take what is on the land record. The land records address it as being assessed to the Leland School District, no specific, officer.
Well, actually, she said it was addressed as a person. It was
No, it
addressed to
was
Ms.
not.
Ransom.
No, what happened is this, when that notice was sent, and it was, served, certified, we're required by statute to send 180 days prior to the maturity. Someone by the name of Ramsey signed for that certified notice. In other words, the individual who ever picked up the mail for the district signed for it. And I think probably what happened, it didn't get any further than somebody said.
And-
So it was served.
But they
Now,
wrote
now,
down
this-
the last name, RANSIN.
I don't know.
And I don't know, So I know she didn't sign for it because Ms. Ransom's name is not spelled that way. So that was the deputy, whoever signed it, and they wrote RANSIN.
So it's served by a deputy who,
Yes.
Certified, please, I'm gonna come right back. Come on, Ms. Burnett.
Now,
Oh.
in fairness to the clerk's office, when the clerk receives something from the school district, okay, it does not mention who the superintendent is, all right? It's simply the tax, there is no tax statement, and the property itself, the deed is listed in the Leland School District, all right? Now, unlike court action, and there's a court, there's a statute as well as there is a court rule that say you serve the superintendent of schools when you file an action in court. It does not require the clerk's office to do that. The clerk will simply put the name of the party that's listed on there, in this case, Leland School District. I agree that somebody in authority should have received it. If it was certified mail and it was picked up, then somebody should have got it. If a deputy served it, then somebody in that office should have signed for it, okay?
Well, that's missing. There's no signature on the paperwork I was presented.
And that's fine. Anything else, Ms. Harris?
No, Your Honor. No, Mr. President.
All right, we look forward to seeing you on the 7th.
Thank you.
All right. Number 9 is Ms. Doris Green request permission, request a waiver for the Washington County Convention Center grounds. Last year they had this senior citizens tailgate event last October. Turned out to be outstanding. They wanted to do it again this October 15th from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m.
some of them.
And I got a motion and a second. Thank you, Jerry. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carried, that's unanimous. But if you're available that day, please come out and you'll see seniors from around the community really enjoying themselves. Mark, you got something for them? Did I miss anyone? All right. Ms. Carter? How many additions we have to the minutes? We got,
Cleanup.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Ms. Burke.
Yeah, I just want to do a follow-up of where we are with the cleanup because, again, you know, we just had a rain. Once we dry up, we gonna really need to do something because it's getting so much worse. Even at the exchange between 61 and 82, I've never seen it like this. I know that belongs to the state, but I would hate for us to wait on the state to clean that up because the way it is now, it's just a bad perception of the county. So there's anybody that's doing in exchange on 61 and 82, it's really bad. I have been seeing Greenville do a little cleanup, which is good. I saw them doing some on 82 by Walmart. But I did talk to the gentleman that worked with the Justice Court. He said that they were trying to do some work on Highway 82, but the traffic is really bad. So I think that, you know, whenever they get ready to do some work on 82, if they can coordinate with the sheriff department and maybe block off the inner lane, and then just whenever they're cleaning up and let people drive in the passing lane, so that we can start dealing with deal with Highway 82 between Leland and Greenville, because they do have people and we can start that way, but they will need some assistance from the sheriff department with the inner lane so they can start picking up paper, because they're, cluster traffic is really bad. And so I just want to bring that to the sheriff department, see if we could possibly work something out with you guys to assist them with safety on Highway 82. And so that's why he said they really couldn't get on 82 to start the cleanup.
What we do, we'll get in touch with Anthony and find out what his schedule is, Chief, and we'll communicate with you for some assistance with traffic control if they decide to go that way.
To be more effective.
Is that good, Chief?
Yeah, also, we've been notified Highway Patrol, make sure I ain't got that.
Okay.
Just kind of tag on to that. I think what we need to do, especially right now, you know, we've got, and this is an addition, we've got the big trailer and the truck that we
Right.
supposedly use. We need to, that needs to be, especially right now, all this jumping back and forth. I think to be effective, need to get that 2, 4 million, whatever's in it. I see a lot of riding around, to be honest with you. Say, go to one district and spend 1 week and communicate with the supervisor in that district to see where you want me to go. But it needs to be a little bit more accountability on that. And if there's specific places, not just run out there and work a half a day. There's places you could go fill that trailer up. So I think what we need to do, Mr. President, they need to communicate and go to. I don't have a problem with going to Jerry's district, staying a week in Jerry's district, then moving on to and give everybody a good week, because it's just running out there here and there. It's not hitting some of these high traffic areas, but that's in addition to that. I think we need to do it. So if you could share that with them.
We really need to light up these trailers. We got people out there and they can't put flashing lights on these trailers with arrows like the state do. And when we clean it up out there, have them lights out there on that trailer, and we go and mark off that outside lane. So where we gonna be working there, mark it off, and they got them lights on the trailer will work sufficient, just like if it was a patrolman. I see they doing it on Highway 1.
I think we need to, before they make things, you can sit even before the trailer, that you can go by, that's already flashes, put them out, ever so far, behind the trailer. But that's that we can work around that, and for safety reasons. But it needs, I agree. I see too much riding around and 4 people. They need to be out. And I wouldn't have a problem, like I said, spending a week in everybody's district. And when you get done, hey, there's enough out there. Start back over
again.
Yeah.
Just to add on to that, I agree with you, Supervisor Gordon. I think that if we get our work crew along with the Justice Court and they do it together, and I think we'll get more done versus, the 3 people. But we have 7 people, then we can see an impact in certain areas. But I do agree with you, we do a week in each district and just start the process over again.
Because a lot of these ditches, we've had a little rain lately, but I just looked at that'd be a great time to get, because a lot of them are dry, and you can get some of this stuff out of. But yeah, that's something that definitely needs to be looked into.
All right, we'll follow up today with the solid waste department and make sure we get the traffic control devices in place on the assets.
Along with Justice Court. Will they do it together versus?
Okay, but what we have to do is make sure our crew working, because I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, if you look at the monthly report you get from Justice Court, sometimes you have 0 consistently month after month of people in the fine working program. But, okay, we'll at least be able to utilize that lead person themselves along with them. Anything else? That's your cleanup, Ms. Brooks?
That's pretty much it, just making sure we start getting, and also, the other piece is the piece that Mr. Bo Walker does. Does he have anybody working with him? Is he still working on the grant with the state?
Yes, ma'am, he are working on it, and we have put an opening for someone else to file application. We do have 1 application.
And I was gonna say, really, if we can get the state project with Mr. Bo Walker along with our people, along with the Justice Court, I think we get all of them together doing the cleanup. I think we really, really can see a major impact versus everybody doing their own little separate thing, because my biggest concerns are our main fairways right now. 61 to 82, of course, Highway 1, we got some old Leland Road. We have some major fairways, and I agree with Lee. We do being in one district every week and just, go back and just keep doing that, where we can see a difference with the cleanup. Because with Mr. Walker's project with the state, really you just got 1 person, and only so much 1 person can do. Well, 2 people. One drive and then one
One of them quit. Retired for his age.
Yeah.
He left. We have open. We haven't asked for application. And everybody got to understand and know that people don't want to work. It's hard for them to get them to work out down that road.
So that's what I was talking about, Sheriff. Mr.
Oh, no, don't call his name. We know who you're talking about.
Well, the gentleman from Justice Court, he was telling me that they really couldn't work on Highway 82 because of the traffic, and I was making a request if we can get some assist from law enforcement when they on the inner part in the driving area. where it's just only them, and then law enforcement is assisting them, keeping them safe, and help drivers on the drive on the passing area when they're cleaning up. But to add on to that, if we can get the state project along with the county, along with the justice court, doing it together, it can be more impactful for us to do it, and we do it once a week. So what would we need to do to get that organized, to have all three together?
We'll have as much as we can on that.
Okay.
And like I said again, whatever they're working with, they need to light it up.
Got it. We'll take care of that. Okay.
Just like everybody else do all over the state.
Yes, sir.
Because law enforcement don't assist in all of it, but we'll do what we can.
So, I mean, can you help us assist the lighting so we can go
No,
ahead and get it?
we'll purchase that. That's on us.
No, I'm just saying, can you help, I'm saying the county's gonna purchase, but help us identify what we need. Yes, sir. And when do you think you'll have a person hired? Is it that hard to find a person?
I can't answer that.
Okay, what is the pay plan?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Reason why I said that, if you could let me know the pay, I can just I can put it on my Facebook page and help identify and let them reach out to you, because we really need to get someone in that position.
They pay more minimum wage.
Okay, wonderful. Well, the thing is, I'm just, you know, we got a lot coming on. We got the blues, and I'm not doing this just because we got a festival, but I just know it's just getting worse.
Oh, it's getting worse than there, and I appreciate all the help that we get from the state and everything here. But it's hard for a Bo Walker, which works for us, and then we hire one more person. That highway is terrible.
I agree.
Everywhere you go up and down, 6 to 1, number 1, we never talk about number 1. But number 1, 6 to 1, all of them is bad. And when those two people's in there, he can go out there today and pick up 20 bags, and then be back there tomorrow to pick up 20 more.
Yes, sir. I understand that, and that's a routine project. So that's why I say that we put all of our entities is doing cleanup. We do it together versus just putting two to get by themselves, where we can put the county people together. I don't think we need a class. I just think we need to organize a little better.
We're prepared to help assist in whatever we have to do.
Thank you, sir.
Let me, anyone else? Root cause. Where is this trash really coming from? Are people throwing it out the window, or is it coming from these
Some of it is.
trailers with no cover?
Well, actually, I've been seeing trailers now with covers. So
You have been seeing some?
yeah, I have been seeing it.
All right, let me
And
do
I've been
this.
seeing people
Let's
trashing too. I saw this man just throw a bottle out on the levee where they were waiting on their turn to go farmer's grain, and he just did not care. So a lot of people just littering.
That's true.
And I took his picture and I sent it to the sheriff department, but I don't think they got it. I took a picture of his car truck tag. But this was in the county. Over on Farmer's Grain.
Did you know who it was?
No, I didn't. I took a picture of it and I sent it to his office. I called it in.
So you can swear out an affidavit.
Well, I'm not gonna do all of that, but I did. No, I called law enforcement.
No, do you want enforcement? Because
All right.
law enforcement can't do anything unless they actually see.
I took a
the
picture.
thing committed.
I took a picture.
But that, you still the witness.
I've been witness to it. I just know that.
Y'all ain't had this hard to believe.
Swear out an affidavit.
I will do
All right,
that.
we're gonna get together.
We gotta just make
Chief,
it more
we'll talk.
serious about
Chief,
this.
we'll talk, and we'll make sure the safety people we get
I'm
is
saying, I
added.
can do it in court, but I ain't gonna.
All right, let
try
me
to
move
beat
on.
nobody myself.
Is there anything else on the agenda? That was it. Ms. Carter, we ready for you now.
Okay.
Well, no, don't y'all stop. Don't y'all stop. Keep going. Come on, Ms.
I
Carter.
said what I had to say. You know, I'm gonna talk, but I need to talk.
Come on, Ms. Carter.
Expended 98.3% of our budget through September 16th compared to a plan of 100%. Total receipts deposited September 3rd through 13th total $694,738.03, and requested board approval of our claims docket totaling $611,823.95.
So moved.
I got a motion. And a second. All in favor, show a sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Requesting travel for county officials to attend the 2024 MAS Fall Workshop Training on October 29th through the 31st in Vicksburg, Mississippi, with estimated cost of $3,000, with permission to use the county credit card.
I need a motion.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Thank you, Chair. All in favor, show a sign of aye. Any opposed?
You
Motion
got
carries.
minor the caucus. Okay, let me see. Go ahead.
Requesting approval to distribute tax loss reimbursement Hollandale School District, Western Line, and Leland School District with Washington County, keeping its allocation of $218,500.
Give me a motion, somebody,
So move.
and a second.
Second.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Lorenzo Anderson is requesting payment in the amount of $14,968 to J.J. Ferguson for pay number 8 for work completed for the Fur Road Bridge project.
Jerry,
So move.
Second.
and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Nay.
I got one nay. Motion carries.
He's also requesting payment in the amount of $25,932 to J.J. Ferguson for pay number 9 for work completed for the Fur Road Bridge project.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Where are they on that project, Ms. Carter? Any idea? Are they about through? I got a motion.
Just about.
I think they just working on the road for it.
The approaches.
Doing
The approach.
after, after the bridge.
They're doing the approaches, so that's wrapping up. All right. I got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
I got one nay. Motion carries.
And he's also requesting payment in the amount of $130,759.32 to J.J. Ferguson for pay number 10 for work completed for the Fur Road Bridge project.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. How much money left on that project, Ms. Carter?
They spent approximately 1.1 million, and I wanna say it was allocated 1.2,
For that bridge?
yeah.
And the board approved that price, right? I got a motion on the floor and a second for payment number 10. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
I got one nay.
And requesting approval to make journal entries in our accounting system to eliminate negative cash balances that will be carried over for the next fiscal year. And this is for audit purposes, we do it every year, we have grants, city development.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Requesting approval to allocate first quarter funds to the tax assessor, collector, sheriff's department, and regional correction facility for the upcoming 2024-2025 fiscal year.
Motion
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Requesting approval to open new non-interest bearing bank accounts with myself and the chancellor clerk listed as authorized signers for the $2 million received from the Mississippi legislature through Senate Bill 2468, which allows $1.5 billion for improvements to the Greenville Airport and $500,000 to assist the city of Greenville with infrastructure improvements.
So moved.
And a second. Thank you, Chair. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any
I
opposed?
do have one question.
Any
So
opposed?
that's basically just
Motion
going
carries.
through us, and they'll request their, when they do projects, they'll request the money, got it? And they choose the projects, correct? They choose the projects.
Hey. Now, keep in mind, they had asked the question, what streets do we want to see? Or we thinking about getting done? That's when the Morning Dove, the East Robichaud, and the Cerula Circle came up. And it was thrown in, Councilwoman Kingdom threw in, I want to say Sampson Road. But that's what that request was now, but they don't have to do those streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a
I have a
request from us.
question. So the fund was given to the county, why are we asking them what streets to do? Cause the state gave it to the county, they didn't give it to the city, cause they could easily give it to the city of Greenville and let them make their own decisions. So why are we asking them what streets to do?
Well, they asked us what street path we were thinking about doing.
Okay, they're asking us, okay.
They did. That question came from them.
I get
And
you.
that's when we had the conversation in a board meeting with Supervisor Gordon, because Morning Dove's District 1, Supervisor Benson, because that East Robichaud is District 2, and Supervisor Redmond, Cerula Circle District 5.
And y'all just skipped over District 4.
Well, you were so busy with Old Leland Road and
Oh,
that.
they're still in Greenville.
I ain't talking about that one. No.
Okay.
The other piece.
Well, I guess the concern is, have y'all got numbers on the roads you guys are looking at?
Let me help you with that.
You talking about in town?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, let me help you with that.
There was, that, like I said, there was, those are fairly short roads,
Yep.
but,
Let me help you with that one. If they're done in-house, they can do those streets. And they want to add Cherry Street to it, which is a small street. And, but what that does, it frees up $513,000 that we'll be using in the county on other streets.
So we're really just doing roads in the city of Greenville.
We're not gonna do them. We're gonna pay the invoices for up to $500,000.
So we're gonna outsource it?
They can, that's on them. But they have an asphalt machine, they have a milling machine, they have the assets and the team necessary to do it in-house
So I
in
guess-
order to stretch their money.
Right.
If they go outside on those projects, no, they won't make it.
So I guess the question is, why would the state give it to the county when they could have given it to the city?
We ask for the money.
So why are we asking them to do the work? If we asking for the money, why are we not doing it?
Because it's gonna free up our assets to do our streets.
We getting the $500,000 to do streets in Greenville, and we're asking Greenville to do it versus we do it.
Yeah, they're gonna use their own equipment.
Okay.
And we'll
thank
just
you.
pay. What happened, remember we had a conversation back when you were talking about we made some priorities, and I had asked if we could actually pay for a street in Metcalf and pay for Airedale Street. And I was told by the board, you need to go out and find the funding. No, the cities, Ms. Brooks, you told us need to pay for the material. and
Mr.
they didn't
McGee,
have it.
and let's go back. I went, got the video. I was the main one supportive of it. You had two other supervisors that was against it. I supported 120%.
Okay.
So if you're gonna be clear, please be accurate when you talk about Marla Brooks.
Well, I am clear, that's how it went. But right now, that's what started the ask for the assistance for the city of Greenville. It just didn't pop up.
can I ask a question? Would
Yes,
you
sir.
turn to page 30 on that,
On-
on Charlize's,
Report?
yeah. Is that what you're talking about as far as the funding right there?
Is that-
Page 30.
Looks like it. Is that it? That's it?
That's, okay. Well, it gives you a list of everything those funds are going for, and there's stuff in Leland, there's stuff in Greenville.
No, that's separate money now.
That's separate than
Mhm.
the
That's
2
outside of
million?
that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
everything.
total.
Yeah.
So, but it gives, but I'm saying, but on this list, it gives the amount that goes towards that.
Right.
On that.
Right.
The complete list of
Yeah.
those things.
Those
So
are-
that's part of that 2 million?
Right.
Okay, gotcha. So there are other projects in there? Yeah.
But we only,
Now, what it is, what you're looking at?
Start at page 30, at page,
Right, but no,
yeah.
let's go back.
Just different,
Pretty much, it's not a breakdown of the 500,000, it's left up to the county. to
Of the
make that
whole,
decision.
yeah.
But if you look at it, you got Prentice County, Alcorn County, you have different
yeah, but I
counties.
see Metcalf.
Yeah, I mean, those, they're direct,
yeah.
allocation.
City of Leland, okay.
Leland got a direct allocation. This
Leland
says-
got 75, okay, so
Yeah, they have-
that's not
that-
part of our 2 million.
Right, that's
Okay,
correct.
that's just part of the
Total difference.
overall.
Right.
Gotcha.
okay.
So they got something separate, okay, gotcha,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess I missed it because I was reading this. So why does that go through us? Why does that go through us instead of directly to the
You
city?
asked the same question, I
Yeah,
just asked.
yeah. Why does that,
The county made the ask.
okay.
I want you to remind you all of something. We as a board developed
Well, and I understand that, but I guess why wouldn't the city make the asking? I mean, why, I just trying to understand why it's filtering through us.
because every year we make the same request, and we've been doing it for the last
Well, I mean,
few
I'm
years.
glad we're getting it, no
Yeah.
doubt. I'm just trying to understand.
We've asked for monies to do a number of roads.
But that's what Airedale, that's from
All
Airedale
that,
and all
yeah,
that.
because, and that's why it was, we won't pay for it, you need to find the money. They didn't have it, so let me see, and we happen to have, the lieutenant governor happened to have extra money. And we were able to get it, and that's what started this whole process.
What's the $1.5 million at the airport? What's the projects they have there for that?
It's right there, it's for upgrades and renovations.
Okay.
Keep in mind, let me remind you of one thing. There was $500,000 that I think they have 1 year left on it, Ms. Carter, that they've been working off. And they've bought some equipment, which won't happen anymore, but they're putting in a new HVAC system because theirs failed last year. And they still have a few dollars that need to be spent before the next year and a half expires. This 1.5 million They have 3 years on it. The clock started ticking this past July. They have needs for upgrades with the airport entrance still. With renovations and clearing off, they can ask to make sure it's clear, to clear up some of those old barracks, do some work on the trees, and the TSA entrance they don't have an x-ray machine, so all that stuff need to be upgraded. And there are a number of things they can spend it on where they need help with. No, we cannot tell them how to spend it, but we have to approve what they spend it on. And we're a little nervous about the $500,000 because it's a nice little piece left, but hopefully they'll get that spent.
Yeah, and some of that, are they maybe attempting to do in-house?
When you say in-house?
Well, for some of the smaller streets, not at the airport, on the smaller roads we talk about.
Well, the smaller roads we're talking about is in the city, and hopefully the city will use it. That way it'll go farther if you do it in-house.
I guess what I'm getting at, in order to get some things done, especially on these smaller streets, of course, when you're putting down asphalt, $300,000 or $400,000 don't go very far. But this is just a suggestion we may want to look at. Not sell it to them. We have a small paver that we used for several years that done a good job. We bought this new $500,000 paver. We need to talk with the city. And do they have the capability, instead of taking our we could loan them that machine that we're not using. If they have the rest of the capability to start paving some of those roads themselves, instead of, because we never have the time. We do help with a few things, but we say we do it if we have time, but it's hard for us to do it because we got so many projects. And maybe that may be something we could put that on loan to them to use that machine to do some of these smaller roads. And even if they've got the dump trucks and things like that, that would be a big help. And everybody, and again, I'm not talking about the larger, I'm talking about the short roads. You're talking about Cherry Street, Morningdale, those type of streets. That little machine we have done a fine job on a lot of this.
Okay.
So maybe we want to check on that just to see if that's something that they could do. And then those $500,000 little projects, they'd go a lot longer.
Let me do this. They have an asphalt machine.
I didn't think that. Why are we using ours then? Yeah.
We haven't since they purchased one.
Okay.
Now, they purchased one right there on Cypress Wood where the curve is, where the power line upgrade just came across. That overlay you see,
right?
That was the city and their equipment. Did a pretty good job. And like I said, they have a milling machine, they have an asphalt machine, and they have trucks, and their crews are pretty good at what they do, looking at that work that they did in that particular area. Hopefully they'll take the option of using their assets, their team members, and stretch this money out.
Okay.
I don't know what they put in their budget for street repair this fiscal year, but this $500,000 will go much further if they use it like we do and do the work in-house. So hopefully they'll do that.
The last little calculations I done, you could do about a mile of asphalt in-house for about, I think it was around, and that's been several years ago, so it's gone up, but it was around 50,000 or something like that per mile. Just 2 lanes, just material.
Okay. Now, once we get the money,
That was us doing it,
Yeah.
and that was just material, and that's been several years, so I'm sure it's went up since then, but, you might, what I'm saying with that $500,000, if they do it in-house, they might can get 4 or 5 streets.
they can get 4.
Yeah.
According to their supervisor who's over the road department, they can do 4 to 5, and because they got short streets in there.
Okay.
Morningdale is short, Rawashaw short, Cherry Street short. The biggest work on Sampson Road is going to be coming where there's a bridge and a canal that has to go over. So they'll figure that one out, but all we can do is assist to that tune. Once the money is in account here in Washington County, we'll communicate with them and they'll start the process. And we'll let the board know the cash is in the county.
Gotcha.
I would say one other thing, when we identify, it'd be good if we try to get those projects done before the next fiscal year. So when we make an ask, we can say we've done our projects and we need more.
Right. Yeah.
We had a board, some members of the board coming in in reference to
Can't hear you.
number 9 road. Is that the dish that runs by, I think it's, what's his name, the go, I think it's a car lot.
Cornell.
Where at?
My problem is,
I don't know.
You talking about the big main canal?
the problem is that this is growing.
Where is this, Jerry?
Number 9, I guess that's.
On Highway
number 9.
82.
One of them.
Oh, 82.
Is off 82.
Yeah.
It goes up under the highway, right there
Oh.
by,
But you keep on, when you pass and get in the neighborhood over there, I think, Miss Monica, what her name?
See, and okay, no, that's a drainage canal that comes to number 9.
That needs, they need to put some attention on that, what's rolled up. Somebody took a picture of a bear on 82, and ever since they saw that picture of that bear, everybody over there been seeing a bear. It's really.
Now,
The
he
ditch?
is right about that. They have neglected that area, cause I think I reached out to the Washington County Drainage Commission, they came out, but I know they've made a big change up or whatever, but that area does need to be attended to. You have a car, dealership, not dealership, I think they
I know
work
what
on
you're talking about.
cars or something, and that area is just really, really bad now, so I wouldn't know, who do we reach out to? Cause I know they're supposed to outsource the work, but the work has not been
yeah,
done
no,
at all.
it would still be Washington County, and then they outsource it, but that's not actually number 9, that's what they call a main canal. I wanna say, even I wanna say it's the Corps that maintains the larger ones, I think. I can check and see, and check and see.
Please
But
find
yeah,
out,
yeah,
cause
I'll
I've got
find out,
calls
yeah.
about, it has gotten much
I
worse
could be
from
wrong, but I
last
think
year.
that's what it is, but I'll check and see.
Now, the
But you're
guy-
talking about from 82 back south.
Right.
But yeah, you know
Yeah.
where the what you call used to be at, the car dealership used to be.
Yeah, and KFC used to be right there on that corner. Now it's
Eye
off,
place.
yeah, that's right. I know
What?
what you're talking about,
Eye place. Eye clinic.
It's,
or
yeah,
something.
or some kind of doctor's office now.
All right, because James Serrani used to be there.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Now it's everything over there. But okay, you got it, Lee?
Yeah, I'll check on that.
Yeah, holla at Beard.
Yeah, I will.
Ms. Carter, you good?
Are you not finished?
No. This is the longest short meeting we've ever had. Go ahead, Ms. Carter.
Judge Margaret McCray is requesting approval of the order appointing and setting salary for AOC Law Clerk 1, Malaysia Ellison, effective October 1, 2024.
I need a motion to approve.
So,
I got a motion. I need a second. Thank you, Jerry. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. That's unanimous. Ms. Holmes.
Okay, the city of Hollandale was originally allocated $200,000 for downtown improvements through ARPA. The amount was reduced to $50,000 due to $100,000 of it being obligated because they did not own the Satterfield Park. So you still have $50,000 to industrial park and $50,000 still allocated for downtown improvements. They're asking, well, they were under the impression that they still had the $100,000 for the industrial park area, and so they're asking to reallocate that money from Satterfield to the industrial park.
Who is this?
Let me
That's
check.
in Hollandale.
Let me check, because I think the organization that owned that park, did not, the industrial park, I think that's the big part.
Satterfield is the one that they don't own.
All right, Satterfield is the one I think they got ownership of now, but let me make sure.
Just ask them.
September.
So they asking for,
No.
for industrial.
Wait a minute. There's too much confusion for us to approve that, right?
They supposed to been giving to them, cause see, that was first, it was first like.
You hear what she said, Mr. Britt? You hear what she's asking us?
When I spoke with, we're not asking for anything that
Right.
we
A
know that we
reallocation.
don't own. This is for, the industrial park, which is already, funds are already allocated for ARPA through it. So they're asking, can they have those funds that would be obligated for Satterfield to industrial park? And this is just as of Friday.
Which there's already some funds, obligated to that, and this, okay, gotcha.
But those,
Just transfer.
That's it.
but this new request meets the guidelines.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
So you're recommending we do this?
Transfer, yeah.
I need, Jerry,
Then give them.
can I get a motion? Jerry,
Ready.
can I get a motion?
Second motion.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Brewer. If there are no questions, all in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, that's unanimous. Ms. Carter?
Requesting approval to fill the road grader operator position that's open with the road department and to rehire Dietrich Booker for that position. He left in good standing
What you recommending?
to rehire him.
So moved.
Thank you. Second, give me a second.
Second.
Thank you, Jerry. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Kessler Tile is requesting payment in the amount of $118,446.48 for pay number 2 for work completed for the DHS Storm project. I looked at the contract and we did sign off on making progress payments.
Okay.
Who is approving the progress?
Supposedly IMS, supposed to be.
No, Jeremy went there.
He's good.
Oh, this was an in-house thing?
Yeah.
Isn't IMS on that, I think that's IMS.
Project.
That recommendation, did it not?
They were the one that took the bids.
Yes.
Hey,
They
man,
still on the they still on that project.
This-
are they being confident?
But they need to finish,
Sir?
they need to finish.
No, IMS just need to make the recommendation. They need to.
Let me do this,
Well,
Mr.
Mr.
Griffin.
Griffin, I got a
We
question.
gon' go ahead.
Let's move on, because, I mean, my thing is, they're not here, we're not gonna hold this project up, we need to get this project moving, so move.
Somebody who's qualified gotta make a recommendation, that's my point.
And that's fine.
Okay,
I got a motion.
all right.
Jeremy, he signed
The-
for it, signed off on it.
hospital,
As
I mean,
the
the,
building director overseeing
Health
it.
department,
All right.
I mean, the MDC.
I need a
I
second.
mean, it's flooring.
Yeah,
We even put the people
need a
out
second.
already, we need a second motion.
Second.
I got a motion and a second to approve this particular payment. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, and we'll get those details worked out and get with you, Mr. Griffin.
That's their
Ms. Carter?
second draw or their first?
First,
This is second.
this is a second draw.
Yeah, the first one was.
Was for material, yeah, that's what I thought, yeah, okay, gotcha.
I'm going with.
The overall project was, what was the overall?
Like 458,000.
Yeah, it was high, okay. All right,
Okay, requesting approval to accept, Ms. Lee's August 2024 settlement check in the amount of $347,777.92.
so moved.
Second,
I got a motion and a second to accept. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The last thing I have is approval to ratify the proclamation of existence of a local emergency for Hurricane Francine that was signed by the board president on September 11, 2024.
So moved,
Yep.
ratify.
second,
What damage did they do?
And to include all board members.
No.
Can't give me no
signatures.
rain.
Now, what happened, Jerry, we got a motion and a second. It's the preparedness piece, sandbags, different stuff like that. Okay.
can I use
All
your
in favor,
pen?
show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That's not mine, I left my pen here last time, you got my
One
pen.
last thing I have is a letter from Madison Seard, and it's to the Washington County Board of Supervisors. She's writing to express her sincere gratitude for being selected as recipient of the annual scholarship. It says, I was thrilled and deeply honored to learn about this award, and I want to extend my heartfelt appreciation for your generous support. Receiving the scholarship has not only alleviated the financial burden of pursuing my education, but has also motivated me to work harder and strive for excellence in my academic endeavors. With this support, I am now able to focus more on my studies and actively engage in extracurricular activities that will contribute to my professional and personal growth. Please keep me in your prayers as I navigate through my college experience. Love you all, Madison and Sears.
All right.
Everybody for the-
Anything else?
That's it.
That's it? Ms. Holmes, you got something for us today?
Requesting approval of bonds for Valencia Chester, Deputy Tax Collector, and Darren Evans, Washington County Grounds Supervisor.
So move.
Got a motion
Second.
and a second. Any questions? All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. That's it, Ms. Holmes. All right, Chief.
Good morning.
Morning.
The meal log for September 13th, 2024, August 10th, It's actually August 10th, 2024 to September 6th, 2024. It's in the amount of, this is for the whole month, $29,043.
Need a motion?
So moved to accept.
And a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Also, the sheriff is concerned about the building, the project at North Harvey. Was trying to see where we at. Last time I think we talked, you said.
I think Jeremy did get some quotes on it, and of course, he's not here today with it, but he did get, I know he got some quotes on it, but we hadn't got them yet. That was on the electrical part of it. The roof's done, the electrical part still, they can't use it till, of course, they get some power going in there. But, yeah, that was, I met with him, I guess, a couple weeks or so ago, and I do know that he got some folks out there to look at everything, so he should have us an update. Matter of fact, I can touch base with him, today, just kinda see where he's at.
Then I'll touch base with him as well to see where
Okay,
we're at.
yeah.
Because if he's having any problem on our end, then we wanna make sure we get that, rectified, so.
All right.
Also, the sheriff and I had a conversation as well. I don't know if you all aware, but the road, Boat Champ extended south from Reed Road all the way over to VFW is in pretty bad shape. If y'all just wanna go out and take a look at a road, and it's well traveled. People do come up and down it, and I'm pretty sure that y'all don't want it.
You said
Which road? Boat Champ?
Boat Champ
Okay.
extended south.
Okay.
From Reed Road over to VFW. So you might wanna take a look at it. That's all I have, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Griff?
Yes, I was listening to what Ms. Brooks said about ways and how, she was able to make a picture of a tag. And as county prosecutor, members of the board, I'm requesting this and challenging board members as well as the public, that if you identify or take a picture of a tag of someone committing a crime, and we get that to either the county prosecutor or the sheriff department or the sheriff department to determine the identity of that person, that you board members as well as the public, because there are 3 layers of a prosecution. First, there's a reasonable suspicion test. That's all the sheriff has if you submit that stuff to him. But the probable cause lie with the person who saw it happen, okay? So that based on probable cause, you swear out an affidavit. I'm challenging you to swear out that affidavit so that a judge can then issue a warrant. Then the sheriff department can take action to effectuate an arrest. But let's not just avoid our duty and responsibility as citizens and not notifying the sheriff department with sufficient information to enable the sheriff department and or the county prosecutor to conduct an investigation to determine whether or not a crime has been committed. Secondly, if that's been determined, then you gotta be willing to swear out that affidavit. Sheriff, Chief Deputy Barber can't swear out an affidavit unless he was present when that misdemeanor was committed, okay? But if I saw it happen, I can swear out that affidavit. So now I want you to know that I challenge you. Let's do it. Let's get it done.
I challenge you that if somebody takes something from me, I don't expect for me to go and investigate and find. I believe that I can find it. Ask the police. I don't know. You want to tell me that they can't go in from a reasonable. I got a tractor missing and they can tell you can't find out who took it or foreign interest. But you don't want to sign an affidavit because somebody told me they got their forms out there. Go ahead.
It's called citizen's arrest.
All right.
I wouldn't recommend citizen arrest in 2024.
Hey.
I would not recommend citizens arrest in 2024.
Board, I've got a request. Oh, I'm sorry.
Just kind of piggyback with that. I think just like I was telling the insurance committee earlier, you got to look at the long term of this. This is a major problem. I'm not saying we can do it right now. The only way that you'll fix this didn't get like this in the last 2 or 3 years. It's been like, the only way, you have got to have people out educating the young people on this in the elementary schools. You've got to we need a person that's all they do is to work on this. If you want to have an attempt to do it, overcoming this in the next 10 years, you need a officer or whatever, or educator, whatever, that works for this county, that's out, that's in every single school, just like we have programs for the smoke-free. You've got to do this because I agree with giving people tickets. That's fine, but that's not going to solve the problem. It's got to be. You've got to start doing it, and it's got to be where it's an impact, where people, because we've tried certain things as this board. We've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars over the last 8 years trying. And again, me and Jerry was talking about the other day. It's at our sites where we have the dump site. It's filthy. But if you don't get into the elementary schools and start educating for taking pride, because they're just growing up in an environment that they see. So what are they going to do? And and it's just when I'm like, somebody said that they see somebody just throwing something out. I seen somebody, riding down the road, just throw it several times. But if we've got to look, if we don't do it now, in our next budget session, we better look at trying to get somebody, and that's their job, getting out there and trying to educate this public of how to do this. And I'll go a bit further. That person could even be used to go to each business and try, because I see businesses, they got to take a little pride too, cleaning up in front of their business if they want a better business. So it ain't like that person wouldn't have a lot to do. That person would have a lot to do and come back and report, this is what I've done. But if we want to have an impact on the city and the county, that's the only way. I think in the long term, we may not see it right off, but I believe in you, if you'll stay with it years to come, maybe. And I think that, because you said it yourself, it's education.
Lee, I agree with just holding people accountable.
Yeah.
Especially with and I agree going into the schools, starting with the youth, letting them know it's not acceptable.
Yeah.
That will make a big difference because nobody talks about it, and it's not a real issue for apparently a large portion of our community in our county to just litter. Nobody thinks nothing of it. I've literally had to stop my car, go back to garbage, and I had somebody pick the garbage up because you're not gonna litter out my car.
That's right.
They got upset, and I said, "Well, we just sit here until you do it, or you have somebody to pick you up." And I did that. But your point well taken. I think you are correct about having someone going into the youth or creating something with our schools. At this point, since we don't have a person, how can we collaborate together to start, educating this next generation on how important it is to take pride in Washington County?
Okay.
Shad got something first. Come on, Shad.
All right, I think one other thing we need to do too about all this trash and stuff we're talking about here, I would talk to MDOT about putting on more signs and putting on those signs talking about a fine. Also, the county need to make more signs out there to talk about fines.
I understand, but if we do that, I hear you on that, but how effective is gonna be if we're not enforcing?
It could be, who said it wouldn't be enforced? It would be enforced. I'm saying though, if you put the signs up there, it might mean something to somebody think about here. If somebody behind me throw out something here, and you got to get the tag number, go sign the affidavit, there we expose that.
All right.
Let them know.
We'll get some.
We got to have something there more than other ways in there, we talk about this, that, and other here, but put some signs out there.
Okay.
This county can put them out there, and also MDOT can put them out there.
Yeah.
MDOT in here is more responsible for attitude than Washington County is.
Yep. All right.
We have a commercial or something in reference to this.
Yeah, we run it for quite a while. We spent several thousands on creating that, and then several thousands on promoting it. We did for a while.
Good morning again. I'm talking as a citizen right now. There's a dumpster down Highway 1 South.
I know exactly what me and Jerry, they're supposed to be
They
picking
work
it up.
it, yeah.
We're rebidding
being
that. It's pitiful.
Okay, so.
No, it's.
So you're aware of it?
Oh, very aware. I've called him, Charlisa's called for him to come pick it up. We're not doing business. We're gonna get somebody else.
Yeah, we're gonna get our own. We're gonna hopefully you all.
Well, we're trying to get our own.
And that's where a lot of your trash debris blows out
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
From.
That's what we were saying.
Well, I'm a little fortunate in that one that it's got fences all the way around, but we've got other places, but it's just blowing everywhere. But no, we're well aware of it, and
Well, that's
he's
something
doing,
to probably
he's
do.
not doing,
right.
fulfilling his obligation.
All right.
I've spoken with him, Charlize has spoken with him, it's supposed to be picked up.
Okay. I've got a request, don't have the letter just yet, but pending receipt of the letter of request from the town of Arcola. And that's to drop a couple of culverts in off of their main street and one of their alleyways. Pending that letter, I need permission to go ahead and give them that assistance.
So
Second.
Now,
Motion and second. Everybody in favor, show by sign of aye. Motion carried.
speaking of, I believe in that storm took out a big tree. It came right, matter of fact, part of it resting on the church. And the part is.
Where's this at, Jerry? Where's this at?
In Arcola. It's a large tree at Bigger Rest Church, the rear of Bigger Rest Church. That part of that tree is resting on the back of the church. And the problem that Arcola don't have anything, they asked about some assistance. And I told them to go and look, but I don't know whether we're gonna be able to get in there with chainsaws and cut that out of there. I just told somebody else that got a broader mind on dealing with this than that.
You got a picture of it?
Huh?
You got a picture?
No, I didn't.
Bad, was it on county right away it fell on, or was it all private?
Dead in the city.
No.
Dead in the city.
Well, it's on city right away, right? So, is it a city tree, is what I'm saying?
Right. I assume the church tree one, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know about, and I'm talking, we were fortunate that it fell house right here, that church right here, and the tree fell right down in the center of it. And it crossed the street. And it hit the top of the tree, landed right in the lady that crossed the road driveway. And so
Yeah, let me
they
set somebody
did
down, look
get
at it.
some chainsaws and cut the tree back so they could get through the street.
Name of the church,
But I
Jerry?
don't know what they're gonna do about
What's the
this.
name of that church?
Lord, I'm letting you know.
I thought you just called it.
Broadway.
So it's in Arcola, you
Yeah,
can find
it's
it.
in Arcola, yeah, it's in
You can
Arcola.
find
I don't know the name of it.
I'm gonna send somebody down there to look.
Huh?
Once we get pictures,
Yeah, it's a
I mean, if it's over a street or something.
if it's on the right of way,
Yeah, that's
city
right.
right of way.
Yeah,
But if it's too far off,
Yeah.
nothing we can do. So we'll check. All right, tree down. And we'll proceed with the culvert. And I wanna make an addition to the agenda. That's a executive session personnel matter.
So moved.
I got a motion? I
Second.
need a second.
Second motion.
Almost second. All right, I got a motion and a second with the executive session personnel matter. All in
Aye.
favor, show by sign of aye. I got, any opposed? That's 3 ayes. We add executive session to the agenda. All right, Lee's away from the seat. Hey. Yeah, she didn't,
When she gonna do it?
they're checking the availability dates. She's working with Trina George, and they're actually wanting to use of an area in the convention center to hold a meeting. I think it runs several hours, but it's during the daytime hours, and they need the fees waived as long as those dates are available.
This for,
Rural,
rural
yeah.
development.
Yeah.
So moved.
Got a motion?
Second.
And a second. All in favor, show by sign of aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Carter, because I didn't. All right, Ms. Brooks, you good?
Yes, I got a few things. So this month, I talked to you all about, on the last meeting, I talked about Suicide Month, but also this month, Suicide Prevention Month. But also, this month is also Childhood Cancer Awareness. And so, I always see on television where we donate money to the hospital in Memphis for children.
St. Jude.
Yes, St. Jude. I think we need to make sure we try to help them out in a way we can personally, because, you see so much going on with babies, and, they are our future.
All right, so you're making a personal appeal to the people who may be watching on the internet?
Yeah, anyone.
What would you like to see happen?
I just like for them just to really support them, because you just never know what's going on. And also it's about research as well. If they're giving money, they donate to help the parents, but also it's about research on the future, and that does take dollars.
You got a
And
website for them?
prayers. I'm just gonna say, Google St. Jude. I mean, this is real passionate to me. And also, this month is also, September is also self-care month. Oh. And self-care is more so just taking self-care of yourself. Just maybe just going out, making sure you're healthy, eating right, mentally. So I just encourage everyone to just take a little time for yourself. You know, a lot of times we go out and we help everybody else, and we neglect ourselves. You know, get your annual exam. You know, sometimes you just need to just get away for a day and not talk to nobody. Just a little self-care for, you know, mental health and also your physical health. Because at the end of the day, y'all, you can have all the money in the world, but if you didn't take care of your physical health, you got all the money in the world, and you got an illness, and sometimes that money cannot help you. And the only thing you can wish for is you go back in time and you took care of yourself. Because ain't nobody gonna love you more than you love yourself. And my other concern I just want to bring to you, September is also International Literacy Day. And you would think in 2024 that literacy is not a problem really in the United States of America. But I look around and I do voter registration forms. The truth of the matter is worse. I run across young people who graduated. I didn't say dropped out, graduated from high school, and they can't even fill out a voter registration form. And most times when I run across them, I don't want to humiliate them. I just say, well, let me write it, because you write slow. But a voter registration form is just your general information. So we need to find ways to encourage this next generation of young people, the importance of education. I think our state dropped the ball when they took a whole decade out when students did not learn how to write in cursive, which was mind-boggling to me. But it is back in the state of Mississippi. But the importance is ensuring that this next generation is literate, where they can read and write and comprehend. Because if we don't, so goes the future. And it's kind of scary when you run across a generation under me that really cannot read and write.
Okay. Ms. Brooks, 47. 47. Festival.
Oh, yeah, of course we all know we got the Mississippi Delta Blues Festival. It's the 47th. I think it's going to be extremely exciting. We're going to have tons of fun, and we'll get a chance to see our friends, our current friends, our old friends, and meet new friends. And also, I just encourage everyone to come out and enjoy yourself and support the oldest running blues festival in the United States of America, and even in this Milky Way.
And they're honoring who? Bobby Rush.
The great Bobby Rush, which is, was well, and he's in his 90s. Can you imagine? He's still
He don't want you to tell that. Don't do that.
But that's all. But guess what? But he looks exceptionally well, and he is still rocking the blues. And I just want to say that, you look back on or you read about the history of how blues started to see how it has impacted our community more economically compared to how it initially started, people in slavery. And it was unfortunate, for people during that time. But just, doing a remembrance, but also just how it has made a major impact, not only in Washington County, but throughout the world. So many people have blues festivals. Something that was bad has become very positive and economic friendly for a lot of communities.
You good?
I'm done.
Sure, you good? Lee?
Just talking about, healthcare and stuff. I'd like for Chalisa at least to look into other counties to see what they do to encourage their people, their employees to do their Healthy Youth, whether it's whatever they do. If they require it, what do they do to encourage that? Because I think that's something down the years that can help us on to really encourage our employees to do the Healthy Youth every year. And just kind of piggyback on the St. Jude, I've been a part of that. When you're talking about something, they had their marathon in December. You're talking about just something beautiful. It's 16,000, 20,000 people, and you got people that raise thousands of dollars. But when they run those, they don't always do it, but when they run those people, we'd run through the campus. And when you'd see those children out on the side, cheering you on, you're talking about bringing you to tears and things. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing that St. Jude does. And it's like I say, it's a good thing. If nobody's ever went to that in December, I'd encourage them to go.
Where
because
is it? 'Cause I've never
It's in
gone.
Memphis. It's
Okay, they have it
downtown
in Memphis, okay.
It's downtown Memphis, and they do it, I wanna say maybe the first or second Saturday of December every year.
Okay.
And when I say it's festive, it's just unbelievable. And you just see, as far as you can see, is people. And like I say, when you run through that campus, yeah, I'm telling you, it's making my hair, my arms stand up right now, just seeing those children. You know, if you're not a runner, I mean, it's,
It
go
make
through
you
that-
wanna run.
It makes you wanna run, yeah.
Okay.
So, but when you go through there and you see those children cheering you on and stuff, and, I think, Tawana Haynes from,
Yeah,
the
fire
fire
department.
department, yeah, she's a big supporter, because it was
Okay.
that big in her child's life, so she's a big supporter of that. But I encourage anybody, if you've never been a part of that or seen anything, just to see what people do to try to generate funds and stuff for that hospital. It's unbelievable. Like I say, it'd be a weekend well spent.
Okay, I'm gonna look at.
Ms.
I
Carter?
want to go back to what he said. Going back to the care, the U Care.
Yeah.
I don't know if any counties, but I know Nissan. They have this piece. They have to go online and they ask questions about themselves, how often you get checked out, blah blah blah. See if they know their numbers. I think if we could talk to our insurance company about creating something like that for our employees, because I think if you really start asking yourself about your own personal health, I think it's a reality check when you literally take time and you go through the questionnaire. And so when you do it, it makes you start thinking about, okay, I hadn't been to the doctor and blah 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 blah. And because actually, to be honest, I did it for somebody who didn't want to do it, but I was really intrigued with the questions they asked.
You again, I'm not trying to hold up any more time, but we're talking about people's lives. You'd be surprised at the people probably working here that are in their 50s and 60s that's never had colonoscopy. I mean, it's a direct link to that. If they can catch stuff like that early,
detection
it
is
is,
key.
and so, and again, so that converts into, and I'm talking about people's lives, but we also have to look at the budget. That converts into dollars. So had you rather pay for them to have that, like I say, when they have, healthy, you see their doctor encourages them to do that, versus they get, in their 60s and find out, oh, I should have done this. So I'm just saying it's worth looking into. And a lot of times when we're afraid of stuff, if we're nudged a little bit to do it, once you do it, it's not that big a deal, to start doing things. So we need, for the long term, again, in order to keep our insurance strong and we're able to afford it, because we do offer a very good insurance and we want to continue to do that. So we need to encourage people to be able to do that however we can.
Okay. Ms. Carter, while it's on my mind, the information from Kinder Morgan, need to get that to Justin Birch and his team. I didn't. Don't you have another copy of it? All right, let me find that one then. No, I didn't do it, because we were talking the other day about that one. Did Ms. Stacker say anything to you about flu shots from Delta Health Systems, all county employees? Okay, well, they're offering to give free flu shots to county employees if we decide to accept that offer. Board.
I think it's so moved. Get free flu shots.
Yes.
I think it's wonderful.
All right, that's a motion to accept. I need a
Yes.
second. Need a second. Thank you, Jerry. All in favor, show by sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. So, Ms. Carter, stick with them and see what you all can work out. Now, keep in mind, we've done this before, and we had an extremely low turnout, but we got to figure out how to encourage people more, since we're talking about health and that kind of thing. And now that I've gotten permission to do the culvert in Arcola,
What I supposed to do?
You done that already?
the electrical stuff, okay, on Harvest Street. All right, now we have an executive session coming. Jay, you good? All right, all right. Now we have an executive session, personnel matter. I need a motion to go into closed session to announce our intent for executive session. I got a motion?
Second.
And a second. We're going to executive session to discuss a personnel matter. That's the reason for this executive session. Need a motion to go on into executive session. Huh? We want to discuss Mr. Mark Johnson. All right. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, show by sign of aye. Motion carries. It's unanimous. We're in executive session now. Everything's off, including my mic.
said to go ahead and do it, but you said you wanted something to add.
Well, it's not a job description for me. It's not organized, it's not constructed properly. It doesn't have salary, it doesn't have anything on it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, give me
So let me do this, we'll have it tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have to send it to everybody, but I'm gonna email everybody and stop there. Once y'all say go, we go.
Did you send it to him? No,
Let
he
me
said
see-
he
let
wanted
me
to do,
send
we was
something
gonna
to
wait till we finished it completely and then
Yeah,
send
let me
it to
send
y'all,
something to
see
you.
what y'all want.
It'll be a little bit more details, a little different.
What about
Are we looking for,
I'm gonna say, yeah, tomorrow.
are we looking forward to the advertisement?
When y'all say advertise,
Or anything?
we gonna advertise.
Waiting on that to.
Then what you
I'm
gonna
gonna
do?
get with Don from the road department and see where we can even get those from. He would know.
All right, next question, we're gonna, mine and Jerry's, we asked them to take our garbage cans up, so,
I told
are we gonna re-advertise and get somebody to put them out after that?
No, we're gonna have our own, but
That's
We'll
what.
have like- you say you-
We gotta do
I promise
something,
you won't have
I'm
to
telling you. Now,
I bet you you won't.
I'm looking
I'ma
at,
see.
what we gotta look at is this cheaper?
Well, the containers are no problem, it's the trucks.
It's the truck.
Thank you.
Where we have a
I'm,
problem.
I'm, what
We were
I'm,
out, we were a year and a half out, because we've already looked into it, I mean, we can find it, great.
y'all got the truck specs, I'm gonna see if we can find
there's a rollback and a cause, let me
I'm
get
sure
you
that you have them, I'm sure Don knows.
Now, y'all know we was during the meeting, right?
I know it's,
No, you did.
We adjourned it.
No, we didn't turn.
All right.
I'm just saying,
Hey,
that's
see
our
you, Don.
problem.
Do y'all have specs? I'm gonna talk to
And
my
maybe
guys,
I
see if we can
we
find.
gotta,
We looked for one, because the only closest one we could find, we found was a year and a half out, so we didn't do anything, all right?
Hey,
A year, so we got a little bit closer.
we in the meeting. Do you know
So,
where we can get
that's
like
our
some
problem.
rollback trucks from? You know, we done told them man to come get them dumpsters up.
I got, it's the
So
rollback,
they
it's,
wanna,
the rollback.
yeah, they wanna purchase
Is it the
their
same
own
for all?
with
Yeah, I think they
containers.
all look into those things. And we can look at maybe a good used one, but we want to do it. And that was
You know
near
the dumpster that they put in each
and
supervisor
I'm,
district, they had like two in each
agree with
district.
it's cheaper
They sick of
for
it.
us to
and
have
they
these
want to pick
things
them
that
up.
have all that stuff